So, all right, let's do this. Yo, Sneak This Podcast, episode 239. My guy, George, in the building. We got the homie Pierre, co-host of Views from the Vault on the podcast today. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Shout out to Leon as well, too, man. You know, Leon is somebody who, supports the show as well. And, I started watching you guys kind of not a while back, but, I'll tell you, started watching you guys when the hat wave really started to hit off again. So, obviously we're going to talk about that. And, like I said, I appreciate everybody who likes, subscribes to the podcast, whatever you listen to this podcast on. I ask you to, typically I don't ask anybody to review the podcast or do stuff like that, but go ahead and review the podcast on whatever you listen to podcasts on. We appreciate everybody who comments, shares, messages, and stuff like that. We appreciate everybody who does do the listener suggestions, and we actually have a bunch today, so I'm going to try to fit one in. Everybody, weekend's good? Everybody good?
Yeah. Now I see what Ricardo was talking about. I was wondering.
What?
Nothing. Well, we ain't talking about that today.
Well, it is what? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know you posted about it, so I haven't been on Instagram in like a couple of days.
I mean, you can talk about it if you want. I've been arguing with your wife all day.
Arguing about what?
About the post, about the virus.
Oh, what do you mean arguing? I think
Not
she kind of was
arguing.
on your side. Not like all the way, but she was like...
No, we weren't arguing, but like, we were going back and forth kind of all day about the vaccine. And I don't know if you saw it, Pierre, but we had put a post up last week on the podcast. George had made the comment about he didn't like how LeBron had responded to a question from a reporter asking, was he going to get the vaccine? And so I posted it today on social media. I got a lot of messages and, a lot of, people talking about it. And, I will say, me and your wife, George's wife, we were kind of going back and forth all day about it. She let me know she had a sociology degree, which I didn't know.
What were y'all talking about, though? I don't get it. She said nothing to me.
Well, she's been commenting in the thread with people and stuff.
I refuse now. After that YouTube stuff, like, I'm not arguing with people no more. I don't have no capability, time, and nothing to argue with people about that nonsense. So,
I mean, it ain't arguing. You can defend your point.
No.
Not arguing.
Here's the thing. I'm not, this as a general point from now on for me in life, and I think I've kind of always been like
Don't
this,
do that.
and that's why it bothered me. No. I'm no longer making excuses or standing for rich people anymore. Because
you never did that.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what a lot of people who are arguing with me are doing. And you know what? The one person who was arguing with me, who I appreciate, is Mike today. Mike Lowry today was arguing with me, and I was like, you know what? That's just my point. And he was like, I understand. And that was it. He didn't keep going on. He didn't say nothing. So I appreciate him giving me his point of view. He was upset or laughing or whatever and said, LeBron has no reason to.
You must have called Mike on a rare day because Mike hates to argue.
Normally he does.
Mike,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, I didn't. Fam, I haven't DM'd or messaged anyone about this. There's people hitting me up.
Right.
So I appreciate the fact that he said his piece, and I said what I had to say. I send him screenshots of a basketball, we'll say a writer. He's like a statistician and a writer who was the first one to call LeBron out about it on Twitter, and that's what I retweeted all on my timeline. I don't know if anyone saw that stuff. But again, I'm just not. There's no reason for me as middle class person to defend what rich people do, to have their back in anything, especially when it goes against what.
That's
if
different.
you have that reach, you need to read the tweets that I listen. Actually, let me go back. I didn't word because in the moment you never word it correctly on the show what you're trying to say.
But that's what makes the show good. That's what I try to tell people.
My point was, I think LeBron should have either said no comment, or if he hadn't researched it yet, which is fine. I wasn't trying to call him out saying he should have researched it. If you haven't researched it on your own, then I think people respect when you say, I don't know, but I will find out.
Of course. Now, see, that was the whole basis.
But I didn't look at it like that, and that's what the tweets that I retweeted said, that he's in agree. Just trust me. Just go read those tweets.
No.
It's way more eloquent of saying it.
I know. That was the thing. That is perfect because that's what I tell people to always do. You always, if you don't know, say you're going to find out about it.
Yeah.
That was the thing. How you may have said it a way, it didn't really make sense to me, but that was the thing because I was like, well, you know, if you don't care if LeBron doesn't take it, why should he tell us to take it type
Right,
thing.
but I wasn't trying to say he should tell people to take it. That's what was worded incorrectly.
Right, that was the thing.
He should say what the research says, which is, as of today, it's 100% safe. I don't know what it is.
Yes,
It's
but like
95% plus percent effective. It's 100% safe. No one has been hospitalized from the virus or the vaccine. No one has died from the vaccine. And of the original 42,000 case subjects or whatever in the Pfizer, whatever the Pfizer version was, like less than 1% had, when they caught COVID, like, or I don't know if they had COVID before the vaccine or whatever, less than 1% even had a severe case. So, and severe meaning like you
Right.
have to treatment, like severe not meaning like you almost died. Like there was no deaths from the vaccine. The research is very clear on what it is as of today. A lot of people arguing with me about like we don't know what it's going to be like in the future.
of course.
We don't know. But you know what could be worse is COVID. Future,
It could.
what it does to your body.
But like I said, the country's going to wait for a more suitable amount of numbers death per year to be comfortable. I mean, that's just the way
Well,
it's going to be.
Americans,
Of course.
I mean,
but see, that was the whole thing
Americans
too.
are selfish. Like that's, I'm not going to argue against that.
Right. But now what you were saying about like empirical fact, it's fact, scientific fact, that may be true. And I believe it. I got the vaccine. You know I did. You know, I'm for it.
Yes.
But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, the government should have mandated it at that point. Like once you be given the option, that's what I told Hannah. I said, once you give me the option, you give an American citizen the option, you can't take it back from them. Like you can't
Well,
be
I don't
like,
think you see how people storm the Capitol 2
Of
months ago
course.
or whatever. Like I don't, people in this country, I don't think are like, it would never be like it is in Korea. Even
Oh,
countries
I know.
that are like westernized in Asia, but are more
discipline.
rigid or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
there you go. Rigid, discipline, whatever. South Korea is like one of the most westernized liberal countries, you know, on that side of the globe, and they would still not ever act incredulous like Americans do when things happen. Like if you tell an American you don't have the right to do whatever, people are going to flip out.
it's going to be.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like you can't do anything mandatory. My thing with LeBron was just like when you have that reach, it's responsible to be truthful and not hide anything, because that I'm not saying he specifically came out and was like a conspiracy theorist. I'm
Right.
saying that leads to conspiracy theorism.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. So,
But again,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
if you give someone that platform, right, they have to do their due diligence, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they have a huge audience, a large reach, and these folks like listen to these people. So I think that's just my thought on it.
yeah, of course.
Absolutely, I agree, and that's the point I was trying to make. In the moment, it never comes out right, and I think the fact that like both you and Blanc disagreed, I was like trying to fight both of you, and I wasn't trying to fight nobody. I'm trying to say like, if LeBron would have said either no comment or I don't know, but I will find out, I think
Yeah.
people could respect that.
That would have been
100%.
100%.
But when you
fine.
say stuff like,
But I give him the benefit of the doubt.
like
I give him a benefit of the doubt being put on the spot.
The only
because
reason I
I'm
don't
pretty
is-
sure he's there to talk basketball, and you get hit
You're right.
with that, and
You're
you're
right.
like, what the?
You're absolutely right, but the only reason I don't give him the benefit of the doubt on this specific subject is because of the whole China situation. And a lot of people try to argue with me about that. Fam, I have friends who live in Hong Kong, teach English, told me from a firsthand account how it is there. So this isn't like me reading about what's going on in Hong Kong and like getting it wrong or whatever. No, this is firsthand account from people who live there who I know, telling me the situation there, and then what Daryl Morey, I think it was just a tweet, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't a
tweet.
comment. It was
Yeah,
just a tweet.
just a
And then, so the opinion of the basketball writer on Twitter who I retweeted was that LeBron is taking key from like Nike and Disney or whatever to kind of shut that down so the NBA doesn't have any issues. I don't know if he is taking key from Disney and Nike, but what he was doing 100% was protecting his money. And
course.
I'm not going to assume in this point that the vaccine thing that a rich person isn't trying to protect their money. So I just don't respect that no more. So I'm not standing or making excuses for rich people ever again. They don't care about us. There's no reason. Listen, there's no reason for a rich person to care what we think or do. That's just what it is. Like if you think that they do, you're going beyond reality.
I feel like that's different
it's general.
nowadays.
It's general, and there probably are
It's a
some
general
that
things.
are.
I
that
feel
are
like
different, but
LeBron, a lot of people do a lot of like
if you're a billionaire,
political fighting
I
for
understand that.
causes and stuff.
If you're a billionaire,
Right.
just think about the things you would be concerned about. It wouldn't be all the people below you who are not billionaires.
Of course not.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I
Like it's
understand
common
that.
sense. Hold on. Let's open this real quick.
Oh, you want to open this?
We can go on to. Hold on. Do we introduce and get I know you introduced, but do we get social medias?
Yeah. What's up, Pierre? Tell the listeners the social medias, the show. Tell them everything to follow.
Yeah, listen. We're Views from the Vault on YouTube. We're also on Instagram at Views from the Vault. We've been doing this for a little bit, but you're a podcast that we looked up to early on and kind of helped kind of mold what we do today. So it's really great to be on the show. But we're all over the place right now. But this is an honor to be on the show with you guys and kind of spend some time with you guys. So
yeah, and shout out to the homie Leon too, man. I really wanted to try to have you both on here at the exact same time. We always it's kind of a little hard sometimes with Skype because you're not in the same room. So I was like, man, I don't even know if like two people on Skype, how that would even work out. But I'm glad you're on. And plus, you were supposed to be on last year. And we had a mix up in days and time, whatever. But we got you on now, and I appreciate it. And with hats and everything, you're like the go-to guy on social media for that. So we're going to talk about the show a little bit. I want to say something really quick, though, and I want to say this. Actually, you know what, real quick? For anybody who listens to this podcast, the Jordan 1 low, the natural grays, George is a 12, and I'm a 9.5, okay? Now, look, I'm pretty confident George and I will have a pair for ourselves, but I would like more than one. So... if anybody could get us,
put it out in the
I'm just letting you. I'm giving everybody a heads up. Every time I start this podcast until that release date, that would be the first thing that comes out of my mouth every single episode. All right, so I'm just giving everybody a heads up. Let me tell you something, George. And
I think that's a fair ask. That's a fair ask.
It's a fair ask, and I'm gonna talk to you about hats too because
yeah.
It seems like you get it all. Okay. Have it all. And I want to talk about that. But, real quick, I have a kind of a low-key gripe real quick, and that's just over the weekend. Because I text George and everybody in the thread because now I'm trying to say this without sounding like
Wait, what's the topic first before
It's about me wearing clots to the mall, okay? Right. Now, I'm not trying to sound like a thought, and I'm not trying to sound like, oh, look at me, I was wearing clots.
Dave sent me a pic, by the way, of someone wearing them with no socks on, and the entire...
You're supposed to.
No, with no socks on.
You're supposed to. That's what the shoe's made for. It's supposed to look like a sandal.
So you...
You got to read about the shoe, George.
Fam, the sweat and
I was fogged up. My shoe was fogged up when I wore it. But let me tell you something. So we're talking about the Air Max Kiss of Death clots, Pierre. They got the clear toe box and stuff around it. Look... Now, this is my issue, okay? I wore them this weekend, right? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It was a little difficult to wear them because I couldn't figure out what socks. I was like a little weird about the clear toe. I thought about wearing it barefoot because you're supposed to wear it barefoot, okay? That's why the insole is... That's why the insole...
Clot thinks. I'm telling you what is a respectful thing to do and is not to see your toe.
But respectful thing, don't say that. We wore sandals. What's disrespectful about that?
If you wearing sandals, you're wearing a shoe that's designed for that, like specifically for that.
Look, so this is the problem that I have. All right, now look, I'm not saying that I wore these to get attention, but let me tell you something. When you go to the mall, okay, back in the day we used to wear stuff to the mall. Everybody used to know what stuff was. Nowadays, I really don't care about that now. But if I walked into the House of Hoops Foot Locker, okay, I expect when you walk into a House of Hoops Foot Locker wearing something that odds are no one has ever seen before in person, you get a little something like ooh, them nasty, oh, those are dope. Something. I walked in. Now, not to be sexist or anything like that, but it was a girl at the front door. Now, there are plenty of girls that we talk to who listen to this podcast who know their sneakers. They know sneakers, so I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. And I walked up, because they were like letting people in per customer come out the store.
They got a line.
She goes, yo, them Air Max colors is crazy. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she goes, them customs? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm like, no, they're not custom. Well, Nike IDs. I'm like, no.
At least she knew what Nike ID was.
I get it. Now, for some odd reason, the store had about 13 employees in there. I mean, the store was packed full of employees. I mean, it was referee shirts everywhere. So I was like, well, this is different. Like
people back to work, fam.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they were just standing around. Now, look, I walked through, not a single person even looked, said a word.
It's Corona.
No. What that got to do with me what I'm wearing? I'm talking about my shoes.
People talking to you. Like, they're not going to talk.
No, they were all talking.
I think people...
No.
I think people are still scared to talk to me.
No.
I think they are.
Everybody was in there chit-chatting.
Anytime I go to pick a shoe up or do whatever, I don't see people, like, talking to each other.
They came up to me asking me...
Like strangers, I mean.
They came up to me asking me multiple times that I need some help. They wanted to talk.
So you're just talking about employees.
I'm talking about employees, not people.
I think you're talking about people.
No, people I don't care about. I'm talking employees. And I said to myself, you know what? If this was back in the day when the shoe originally came out, fine. You may not be privy to like what's coming out, but that to me shows that sneaker shop employees aren't even linked in the sneaker social media now. Like, I don't think any of them knew what it was. I was like, y'all don't go on Soul Collector, Sneaker News, Sneaker IG. Like, you don't be on, you know what I mean? Like, you got to know something.
Yeah, you see that everywhere now, man. It's like, I think the mom and pop shops are better at knowing what's going on out in the world than some of these chains like Foot Locker and whatnot,
That's a fact.
I think if you've got like corporate and places like that, if you walk in there, those guys know their shoes, Concepts, places like that. But when it comes down to like these big chains, man, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just in there for their paycheck to get through their day,
Nah, you're right. I mean, that's what it comes down to, because they were young, but they all had on bread ones. They had on some decent sneakers.
I think the employee base, if that's the right word, was different. Like at World Foot Locker when I was in high school, though, it seemed like everybody who worked in there was like a sneakerhead. Like, I don't mean, well,
just be aware.
They knew. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but it was a time before social media too, so you would think it would be less informational. But I think the worker base was different. You didn't have like as many people working there who had no idea what was going on.
I mean, not one, I don't think. In that store, it's got to go out of business. I mean, I can't believe the stuff they're in there selling. I honestly couldn't believe it. They had the most space hippie models I've ever seen in my entire life in the store. I was like, what are the most colors? I've never seen some of these colors. That store was awful. Like,
nothing happened to that store. We know that.
I can't even believe it. Anyways,
hold on, let me open this. What you got? What do you got next? Let me open this real quick.
Fine, we're gonna open up a package that somebody sent us real quick, Pierre.
This is from.
All right, cool.
This is from James.
It looks like a pair of baby shoes.
Oh yeah, you can see us. Oh yeah, this is one of the first times we've had somebody on Skype who can video see us. So it's from now on, when we do Skype people, they can see us now. So hopefully it makes it a little bit better. I don't want to turn my head too much and look at Pierre because like I'm on camera like that, but
right.
I like
that's all right, man. I'm ugly anyway, man. Just keep looking at the box. I'll be all right.
He can see me. This is from James on Instagram, a.k.a. Bluff Bagwell, at Bluff Bagwell. I think the bluff is in relation to poker. It says he's an occasional poker player. Sent us a care package, in quotation marks. Didn't tell me what's inside of it, so I'm going to open it here on the show. And see what we got.
I can already tell what it is.
I mean, it's like a...
Let me guess.
It's like a Hat Club size box.
I think it might be hats, because it's only 14 ounces. But I did ship a hat today, and it weighed 10 ounces.
Would you sell a hat?
No, somebody, shout out to the homie Taylor or Trailer. He's in Australia. He sent a hat to my house and wanted me to send it to him in Australia.
From Australia?
Yeah, he got it from a locker room in Downey.
Oh, shite. You're going to be angry by this. Here, I'm just going to give this to you. You can open it.
What is this? Oh, my God. Sports cards. You know what? Pierre's into sports cards, too, though. Right?
Not mildly, man. I was as a kid, but nowadays, man, I got out of it, man. It's gotten so crazy.
Fam, look at all these cards.
That stuff right there is actually good, like expensive stuff.
Yes.
Fam, he sent us all this.
That's actually expensive too.
Fam, I'm keeping one of these, FYI. So
I think you have to open it here.
You can open one of these.
I think you open. Okay, here. So you open this one.
Hold on, let me read. You want to read the letter, or you want me to read it?
I'll read it.
Go ahead and read
That's basketball. You open basketball. We'll leave these right here. We'll figure it out later.
I thought I seen you post some cards, Pierre.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, Pierre.
What's that?
I thought I seen you post some cards.
No, I got a couple of my buddies and I went in on those Topps cards that were kind of rendered by those artists, but nothing more than that, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I keep saying like you and Leon, like Leon had posted some stuff, and I don't know what those are.
I need to buy some of those because there's one that Topps did today that was the Sports Illustrated magazine cover, and they did one for Mike Trout and one for Duke Snider, who was a Dodger legend.
Ooh.
So I was thinking about buying both of those, but I didn't do it yet. But I think it's up for like 6 days or something like that.
Well, I
Just
collected
open
all
the
the
side.
Jackie Robinsons from this. I collected all the Jackie Robinsons from this specific set, like all the different artists that did their rendition of them.
Right. Okay.
It really really cool. I got my son a set too because they were just so cool, man.
Yeah, I at first I was kind of skeptical about that stuff on Topps because I just would like to be able to go online and buy like a hobby box or buy. But once I saw something like they did one the other day, I sent it to Greg, DJ Ski, who was actually ironically a big sneaker guy. And to me, he's kind of corny, and I didn't even know he was like an artist guy, but he did Satchel Paige in the Illmatic cover.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Fire.
Yeah,
Unreal,
no, it was
dude.
crazy. I wanted it, man. I did want it, but dude,
Yeah.
you go down that rabbit hole, man. You're going deep, and you're not coming out.
That's why I can't do
it's
it.
Dangerous.
The one thing I like that Topps does is they do some numbered cards. Like you can get a numbered card in one of those special things, and that would be awesome. But yeah, that Satchel Paige Illmatic cover, like I said,
Dude, it was
DJ
crazy.
Ski's kind of corny to me, but
Crazy.
that was fire. I mean, and I did not.
Nah,
expect that.
it was incredible, man. It was incredible.
Just real quick, shout out to James. I had no idea you were sending sports cards, and this stuff is actually pretty expensive. We appreciate it, man. Good Lord.
I mean, did he open this? Because now, look, I know nothing about cards, but there's some pretty good stuff.
It was all sealed, wasn't it?
I mean, I guess it was sealed. Look, I got a LeBron James right here.
Okay.
All right. I got a Jamal Murray, a Kyle Kuzma, Paul George, Karis LeVert, Shaquille O'Neal tribute card,
Okay.
Tyler Hero. I got a DeMar DeRozan.
Hero rookie, huh?
I got a Damian Lillard, not a rookie or nothing, and I got a Vince Carter with the Hawks.
Okay, but what's that over there? Is there more you haven't gone
I mean,
through?
there's more, but they ain't nobody's. I mean, look, I got Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges maybe. Miles Turner. I got Justice Winslow, Thon Maker, Jeff Teague. I got a rookie, Jalen McDaniels. He's on the, we'll see. DeAndre Hunter rookie. I didn't even
No,
notice
that's
that.
a good card.
That's a good one.
Hold on, let me see the Hunter. Is it
That's a good one.
a silver or anything? Okay, so base. Yeah, that's a good card.
And then I got a Kyle Guy, whoever that is,
That's
the
a
rookie
good card too, actually, because he doesn't have very many cards.
And then Aaron Holiday and Robin Lopez.
Okay,
So
right on.
those are pretty good, man.
Much appreciated, James. I'm gonna rip this optic, but we'll do it after the show. But I'll make sure it's on camera so you can see me rip it. These prisms, I don't know. We'll figure out what to do.
Read the card. Read the letter he wrote.
Oh yeah. So James, aka Bluff Bagwell, says, just wanted to send you guys a token appreciation for the years of free entertainment and dedication. Hope you pull something good, but not too good. Joking, obviously. He said he's playing. Hope you pull some fire, especially Greg, so he'll come to the dark side.
I'll never do cards. I can't do it. Just like Pierre said, it's too deep. It's too deep of a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I would. Go ahead, Pierre.
I'm still sour of it from being a kid, man. I was collecting back in like 86, 87, 88. And those cards, man, I was deep, man. And Topps, all those cards were so overproduced, man. It was like,
Oh yeah.
oh my God. It was like, I have boxes and boxes of them that are worthless now. I did have a ton of Griffey rookies, upper deck rookies. I had a Barry Sanders rookie. I think that was a scorecard. I had a bunch of those growing up. I had a big Michael Jordan 86 Fleer rookie too. So I had some good stuff. But like I said, man, I can't keep up with it anymore. There's no way.
Nah. Well, you too deep in the hats.
I think part of that is why I kind of only have done baseball thus far. Also, it's hard to get cards. Target's always sold out. Walmart's sold out. You got to go in the vendors. Get something. But baseball was a little underpriced when I got into it, and I think baseball the season was coming up, so I kind of did that strategically, assuming the cards were going to pop a little bit. But baseball was also my number one sport growing up, so those were the cards that I really was buying as a kid, and I just have nostalgia for baseball cards, kind of. So.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say one last thing, guys. Every year I get my son a factory set for Christmas, so like a Topps factory set every year. So. Yeah, at least he's got that,
Yeah. What do you usually buy those on? You buy them from a store or what? Online?
Talking about me?
What's that? The fact?
Oh.
Yeah, the factory sets. Like what's a factory set?
Oh yeah, I usually get them online. It's like the sealed factory set. Every year Topps does that. They have it like wrapped, and it's the entire set.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a great way to ensure you get all the rookies and everything. I mean, it's something I wish I would have been doing all along, and then Greg wouldn't be making fun of me for jumping into someone else's thing, even though I've been a card collector.
Oh, no, don't do that. Okay.
Yes, I have.
Everybody collected something at some point. I am not making fun of anybody with cards. Like, do you know what Top Shot is? Oh, is that the highlights? Buy highlights?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is, Pierre?
No, I have no idea.
So it's like people buying, like, LeBron's highlights, right? Like you own the highlight. Is that what it is, George?
I'll be honest with you. I really have no idea what it is. It's just, to me, it's a digital. I thought at first it was like a digital card, like a blockchain card. But apparently it's a video.
You buy like him dunking. Like you buy the highlight.
Yeah, I don't
understand that.
Man, that's weird.
Pickups. Pierre, you got any pickups this week? And pickups is anything: hats, cards, sneakers, clothes. Anything.
Oh, come on, man! Hats, get out of here, man! I can't even begin. I can't even begin, man. I had probably 100 this week.
What's a Pierre pickup? Is it like do you just get hats, I guess, seeded to you, or do you buy all these hats?
In all honesty, I do now get some stuff seeded to me.
Oh, okay.
But I spent a lot of time, just like you guys, you're spent a lot of time in the sneaker world. I spent a lot of time in the hat world. So
right.
I certainly do my best to kind of support some of the small guys. You'll see me kind of go out to New York City, spend a lot of time in these smaller hat stores. I do get some stuff seeded to me, but it's not a lot, guys. It's like maybe 10 hats a month, but I do buy an awful lot of hats. So
Yeesh.
An awful lot of hats.
What'd you pick up this week? What'd you grab this week?
Gosh, this week, I've been on this My Fitteds kick. So My Fitteds is,
oh yeah,
I just did that their stuff is super creative. John Jay is a good friend of mine. I usually give a disproportionate amount of my hat spending money to them. But also, who's been crazy lately has been Lids. I spent a lot of money with Lids lately, too, believe it or not. Lids has been doing some crazy shit, man.
Like, what's crazy is, like, I keep seeing that they've been putting stuff out, but I haven't went to really go look at it yet. And I feel like I just been so immersed in, like, obviously Hat Club, Hat Club being out in Arizona. And, My Fitted, exclusive, Fitteds. Like, I buy it from a lot of sites, And I feel like I'd be going backwards, but that's not to say that like I don't know that Lids isn't making anything fire. I just haven't went to go look yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, it's getting crowded out there now. So it's kind of cool because the competitive landscape is different now, where you can get good stuff from places like Sports World, Lids, all these other places. Man, there's so many places to go to. I just spent the weekend on Jamaica Avenue in Queens. And the stores out there, it's like a hat amusement park, man. It's just insane, man. Exclusive Fitteds out there, Sports World's out there. It's like the OGs of the hat game out there. I spent a little time in Brooklyn too. These are the guys that started this stuff back when Spike Lee kind of started that alternate colorway phase. Listen, it's always fun to go out there and spend some time with those OG hat guys.
Right.
I've ordered from Sports World before. I'm pretty sure Greg has.
I've ordered a lot from them.
Good customer service. I emailed them about something. They got back to me like right away. My Fitteds is doing fire stuff. I just wish they had more stock, obviously. And because they have obviously a ton of buyers. You're not the only one who has jumped onto that.
Well, I've been shopping with them for many years,
Right.
Many years
I'm just saying, like, you're saying that My Fitteds, like, right now, they're killing it. And, obviously they are because they sell out everything. And then what's the one that I sent you the link? They have sneakers and hats.
I keep forgetting what it's called. I bought from there. Okay. Oh, no. You sent the one they had the Mets with the apple on the side. I can't remember what the color. It looked like
all the right guys, all the right in Queens.
Well, all the right
in Queens.
All the right I have bought from, but there's another one that he's talking about. All the right I bought like the all black, a couple of the all black ones that had the side patch.
Sneaker room.
Yeah. That's what it is.
So they have some fire hats, but what I've noticed is their stuff is always like $5 to $7 more than everyone else. I don't know if that was like they're paying more to
you're right
wear
about
or
that.
what it is, but so it kind of stopped me, and their shipping was kind of expensive. So that's what kind of like a lot of places. because we're Dodger fans, so I order a lot of stuff from places in LA where shipping from there to here first class is $5. You know what I mean? So like,
oh yeah, like Locker Room with Downey and Fourth Quarter Shop.
Yeah,
they're pretty
Downey,
cheap with their
exactly. Those guys are great. So like, $5 first class, like you can't beat it. And if the hat's already $5 cheaper, that's a $10 savings. So for me, it's worth it. Even though they may not have stuff that Sneaker Room and that MyFitted have, I still can kind of get something that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sneaker Room's in Jersey, so if I need to, I can just head out there.
Wait, where are you based out of? Are you in Boston?
No, I'm in Southern Connecticut, so I'm right near New York.
Oh, okay.
Tri-state.
I'm a Boston guy, though. I spent some time in Boston. I grew up in Central Connecticut, but I'm kind of I grew up equidistant from Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium. But now I'm closer to.
All right,
I was in that hotbed, man.
All right, so question for you. This is the $64,000 question right now. Who has you're a Connecticut guy. Who has the best pizza?
Yeah. Connecticut.
What's a Connecticut pizza? New Haven. I knew.
No, I'll tell you right. Frank Pepe's, man, in New Haven, is, and I just think listen, I'm in the minority here, but I think New York pizza is overrated. I think the pizza in Connecticut, specifically in New Haven, Connecticut, is the best on the planet.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people about New Haven. I've actually been in New Haven, but it was just to go to the train station and take the train into the city. I haven't actually eaten the pizza there, but I've heard about it. And I've eaten plenty of New York pizza.
Man. It's so good, man. I'm telling you, man. There's nothing like it. And I've eaten all kinds of pizza. That's it.
You eat one slice of pizza, you ate them all.
For some reason, Greg thinks like every food is the same. I don't get it.
No, pizza is all the same. And you know what's funny, though? I listened to another podcast, and they were on there talking about Detroit pizza. And I was like, I had never heard of Detroit-style pizza. I had never heard of it until the last time we had the podcast on here when Mark and Laura was on here. I had never heard of a Detroit-style pizza.
Detroit-style pizza is it's deep dish. Basically, like the cheese is lined there's no crust in traditional sense. The cheese is lined all the way to the edge of the pan, and it's in a rectangle pan. And the way that it bakes is just I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Rectangle pizza is for children.
You smoking? Sicilian is the second best pizza after Detroit style.
Square pizza is when you used to go to the cafeteria in elementary school and get like square pizza. Okay, well, I hate square pizza.
Pizza's a little bit better now.
All pizza should be in a triangle shape. Is that what it's called? A triangle?
It's called round.
Well, I mean, the pizza's round, but the slice.
That's what they call it.
Oh, a slice is called a round?
If you go in a New York City slice shop, they have a round pie and a square pie.
I don't like that. I'm like, give me the triangle pie. Whatever.
I think like Tony Baloney's or something will make that for you. But open those real quick. You haven't seen those yet.
Well, hold on. I don't got any pickups. George, you got any pickups? Or is that it? Or is that it? Pierre, you got anything else?
Listen, man, it would be too much to go through, man. I mean, honestly.
Well, wait, okay,
I will say I picked up a ton of stuff.
Who do you root for then? You got the Pirates hat on right now.
Oh no, I'm a Red Sox fan, man.
Okay,
Red Sox.
Right. Yeah, just making sure.
I was born and bred a Red Sox fan, man.
Oh yeah, the jersey in the background. There you go.
His Boston hat collection is insane.
They got a lot of good. They got a lot of good Red Sox hats. I mean.
Well,
my second go-to, though, is L.A., man. My second, because Boston, they have some good stuff, but L.A. has, L.A.'s kind of there with the Yankees in terms of getting the really cool stuff. So I needed a team to kind of collect that would get everything. So I've got Boston, but my second's L.A. My second's definitely L.A. I have a deep L.A. collection as well.
I feel Boston and the Brooklyn Dodgers have the two best side patches, period. That's the All-Star game, Boston.
99?
The 99 All-Star side patch. That I have 3 Boston hats with that on there. I make sure I always get that one. And then the Ebbets Field on the side of the Brooklyn hats. I think that's one of the best ones. Now, I've seen some Ebbets Field hats where I didn't like the thread color they used on it, but that's neither here nor there. George, I got nothing this week, which is kind of weird. I'm waiting for my Wimbledon AirTech challenges to come in. Shout out to those. I can't wait for those to come in.
You definitely got to bring those here.
So I will open these that you brought.
I don't know if I said black white dunk lows on the show last week or the
I don't think so. Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's a black white dunk low.
You keeping these?
They're actually pretty nice. I don't know yet. I like the shape, so I think I want to say yes.
Oh, you got to keep these. Man.
But
come on, man. Just keep these. You got to keep every dunk.
I think I want to, but you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to sell the St. John's and buy the UNLVs because I just like that gray and red better than red and white.
These is nice. These are like, these are really nice.
There's something about the shape.
There's something about this that's way different than the other ones. Yeah. And the leather seems, I don't want to say it's better because I think the leather's been good on all the dunks, but this leather looks extremely good and it smells phenomenal. Yeah. Now, the prices this shoe is going for? No. All right. Because I looked for a pair that was like $314 at $340 for my
after taxes. And
I was like, nah, I can't do it. Those are fire. Those are might be I got to figure out how to cop. But you better keep those.
No, what you need to cop is in that purple box right there.
All right, let me see what's in this purple box. I know what this is because I haven't seen it yet, and everybody on Earth seems to have them except me. I see you bought from StockX. Ooh. So these are the, what is it, pig suede? Pink pigs?
Yeah, I don't know what I just looked up pink pig or something. I have no idea what
I don't either.
There's actually a nickname.
This might be the greatest suede I've ever seen in my entire life on a sneaker.
Did you go to Cowtown when those purple and black ones? Oh,
I mean, when you sent it, I could have jumped in the car, but
I think Andy did.
They always tell, he got them?
No, I think he sent I didn't send
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I think they tell people because literally I can get there in less than 45 seconds, and I'm like, how's 15 people here already? So I think people already be there or lurking outside. I think they homies know whatever, because it'd be the same 15 geeks there.
Oh, really?
These are nice. This suede on this is ridiculously nice. These almost are unwearable. They're so nice. All right.
Well, I sold mine when pigs fly, so I had to get a pair that would be more wearable for me. So
some sneakers are so nice, like materials are so nice, you don't even want to wear this. This is ridiculously nice. Man, look at you. I like these.
All right.
Dang, George. Okay, I see you. You keeping these? Pay resell. Wow. It's a resell them again.
Yeah, I mean, this was basically, so I sold those Theodis Beasley Purple Safaris, like the one that was supposed to be like Kenny Powers on the jet ski or whatever, because it was too small and I probably never was going to wear it. I think it was like worn once or twice. Those things were sold for like $650 or something.
That's ridiculous.
So this was half the price of that. So I still got $350 left or something.
I can't wait for this weekend. Anyways,
I mean, obviously I've been buying card stuff, but I don't think I haven't bought any hats. And even though I want to buy that black hat from Downey.
I'm gonna buy a few from Locker Room from Downey this weekend if my size is still on there. I go on there, they must get a pretty good amount of stock. I don't know if you know anything about that, Pierre.
Oh, they increased it.
Yeah, they do. They do. They get some depth now. I listen, when they first went online, they didn't have that same depth.
Yeah.
But now they've been building, man, because you can tell by how fast the sellouts are happening, you know. There's certainly some depth there.
Yeah, so we have a buddy who lives, I don't know if you know who Skate the Great is, but Skate will go there to the store to buy his, and he'll ask us if we need one. So he was doing that a couple months ago when they first started really getting into that, you know, what Hat Club is doing and what MyFit is doing, all those stores are doing. And they would have maybe, I think, like 1 or 2 boxes, and now he goes in there and there's like 6 or 7 or 8 just stacked up on the table. So they definitely increased the order.
Once I started, because once they started doing the in-stores on there, and then they would put them online Sunday, there used to be nothing left, but now
there is.
It's usually like a grip left.
It feels like that wave, too, didn't get to L.A. until later. So, it started in New York, and L.A. was the last, the last part of the wave. They were, sticking to it, man. They're like, we're not doing any alternate UVs, that sort of thing, and then they're like, all right, we just got to do this now.
Yeah, you got the customer base for it, so...
So let's do, if you read the sponsorship real quick from eBay real quick, and then we'll do releases, and then we'll talk to Pierre about views from the vault and get into some hat/sneaker stuff.
All right. eBay from Rare Dead Stock. Someone was sending me questions about eBay today too, so we might have to forward some questions on to them to see if we can get some answers for the people here. But from rare dead stock to the latest release, you can find the exact sneaker you've been looking for on eBay. As the original sneaker marketplace, eBay is the place to go to cop the pair you've been eyeing. In partnership with eBay, Armchair Media will be raffling off 4 custom-made sneakers. Each purchase you make before March 31 through ebay.com/sneakers will enter you into a drawing for a one-of-one pair of Air Force One lows. Just send a screenshot of your purchase to @ArmchairMedia on Twitter or Instagram. Whether rare, dead stock, or the latest release, find the exact shoe you're looking for on eBay. With eBay's authenticity guarantee, your sneakers are meticulously inspected by independent professional authenticators. A team of experienced sneaker authenticators verify the box, logo, stitching, and dozens of other inspection points. Each sneaker also receives an authenticity guarantee tag that includes a digital stamp of authenticity and is customized with the sneaker's details. Authenticity guarantee also protects sellers with a verified return process. It's free, Free, to sell sneakers of $100 or more on eBay. And thanks to eBay's authenticity guarantee, verified returns make the whole transaction worry-free. With other sites taking as much as 25%, you're going to have a lot of extra money left for, Greg.
More sneakers.
More sneakers.
And my watch list on eBay has grown tremendously. My watch list on eBay is insane. You know what's crazy is, like, I still have a ton of hats in my watch list as well, that, like, hats that I put in there when I don't want to say, I hate saying.
You know what? I found that green hat, white and green one I bought for you like a couple months ago, and I was looking at the
it was a Lids one.
But I was looking at it on the transactions, and I was like, fam, what is this $27 charge? I didn't buy this.
Dude, I bought that hat when, like, I had a lot of hair on my head, so now it's too big. It's a 7.5, and I wear a 3/8, so I can't even wear it now. But, yeah, I looked at my card on my watch list on eBay, and, like, a lot of hats that when they were, like, super duper flying, and then I went back, like, I kind of found them here and there, whatever. Like, I still got them in my card or whatever. From, like, there's certain spots that are, like, New York stores that sell a grip on eBay, like, a lot. George, what comes out?
Yeah, we just did a hat with my fitters that ended up on eBay for $250. Like, it's insane for a hat. It was on pre-order at the time.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you about that. Like, I wanna ask your opinions on a lot of that stuff, because we've been talking a lot on this podcast about, like, the like impact of, like, I feel, you know what we'll talk about? I want to talk about it now. Hold on, George, do releases, and then we'll talk to Pierre about hats and sneakers and stuff like that.
Yeah, my fault. Sorry to railroad it, guys.
No. You're good, because it's so hard with this show, like, because we do try to have, like, a little bit of structure when I do the video, because, like you said earlier, you were editing, and editing is one of the hardest things to do. Like, it's so tedious, and you have to pay so much attention. So we try to have, like, a pecking order of, like, what to go through or whatever. But, like, I do have a lot of questions to talk to you about. So, George, releases.
All right, let's see. So we got the Air Max 90 fried chicken coming out. I hadn't even seen those pictures until just now.
I saw it. It's nonsense.
Clearly by the name, it's nonsense.
I mean, come on, man. They're going to shoot fried chicken. Like, come on.
The Kim Jones Air Max 95.
Don't even know what that is.
It's on Sneakers app. It came up a couple days ago. It's not bad.
It looks like that when they did that
I'm
whole.
I'm not paying retail for it, obviously, but it's not bad.
It looks like when they did that whole Nike box campaign where it was like all these sneakers that look like the box. I don't like those. I like her though. I like her a lot.
I think it's a guy.
Oh, well, never mind.
I'm pretty sure Kim Jones is a guy.
Oh.
Another Futurecraft. I thought this came out already, but Futurecraft 2021.
It's the
Black
OG.
Green. Okay.
So, like, that was the very first Futurecraft Adidas that ever came out.
Okay.
But we couldn't
so
get it.
So they're making it for the masses.
Yeah, only
now.
Beardman and Wexler had it. So, and Boost Knob.
All right.
Not Boost Knob, Boost God.
Yeezy Quantum Teal.
Nope. Sea teal.
Yeah, sea teal.
They're going to have to do more with that shoe by now. It can't look the exact same with a little shade of something in it.
Maybe they can't sew it any other way. I don't know.
It is weird materials, but, I mean, come on. Every single one of those look the exact same with a tint in the background. That rust color one that comes out soon, it's like a little tint of rust in the background where the teal is. I really want those. I want a pair of those. I think we should have a pair of those.
Of Yeezy basketballs?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Georgetown Jordan 3 coming out.
Shout out to Carmel Wonder. I saw her post the open box, and they're a kid version, but shout out to her. They look so fire. But I had an opportunity to buy OG Jordan 3s this week for $220 and a 9.5, and I bookmarked the tweet. Like, is that how you save it? Bookmark a tweet? I bookmarked it just so I could go back to it because I might buy those. Right. I can't buy another Jordan.
I always do that though. Like, I'll forget tweets that have are.
Yeah, I rarely go back. I love seeing videos of funny animals. I mean, that might be like a. Right. I do. I love seeing like a dog go down a slide.
That's what you and Hannah should be talking about, not LeBron James.
That'd be killing me. Well, I be sharing those. I be like, yo, see that dog do that backflip? Like, look at him. He has no business doing that.
Got eaten by the alligator. I bet you don't have that one saved.
No, that man saved that dog.
No, it's a different one.
Oh no, I'm not watching that one.
Yeah.
That man, that alligator that grabbed that dog and that man went in the water and punched the alligator in the nose or whatever he did. I really feel like I could fight an alligator if I wanted to. I'm not even joking. No. I think I could get away from an alligator before I could get away from like anything else.
I just sold something on eBay, by the way. Shout out eBay. Don't look at me like that.
What'd you sell?
I can't say because then they'll get mad.
Oh, that's right.
I sold sneakers. Yeezy Boost, Ash Pearl. They're not bad looking. I'm not buying. I mean, I will to flip, but
I want the ones that you sent the picture of.
Yeah, those aren't bad. I mean, when I opened the box, I was shocked. I was like, I did not expect to like these or.
Some joints are fine. I can't stop thinking about them.
All right. Relax. There's plenty of other things. How can you not stop thinking about Wimbledon's? I mean, what are you talking about? I know as our personality is just to buy stuff. I just keep buying cards even though I don't need more cards. But yes, I get it.
Fam, I finally watched somebody opening cards and they had a mat. And I was like,
oh, yeah, I have one of those.
Oh, it was RJ Scott. RJ Scott. He was opening Pokemon cards.
Yes, he's a big Pokemon. I know nothing about that.
His setup to opening cards is, I'm assuming, phenomenal. Because it looks phenomenal to me. I mean, it's crystal clear. He opened some Char-Lizards or whatever today.
Don has one of these with a phone thing in the middle. And that's how he does it. Oh, all right. Yeah. So, yeah, I had no idea. Presto, Sunrise, Sunset. I think they already came out in some places, but...
Oh, and for everybody who like keeps hitting me up about releases, they keep going, you guys always get the releases wrong. Fam, these are sometimes European drops. So like if it's on GOAT and it says that the dunk comes out this week and it doesn't come out for us till next week, bear with us, okay? Do your own research.
That's what I said. I'm not arguing with people anymore because some of y'all got way too much time on your hands. I'm switching over to another app to check for things because it looked like that was the last thing for the week. This is a shoe you might care about, Greg. Reebok ZX Fury, the AZX series.
Nope. Don't even know what that is.
Reebok fanatic.
Man, that's an Adidas collaboration with Reebok. Get that out of here.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
It's probably worth mentioning then.
I remember as a kid, we used to always be like, what if Nike and Reebok made a shoe? And then Reebok and Adidas made one, and we was like, ew.
GOAT says the Go Fly Ease is coming out, but I don't think that's right.
Go Fly Ease been coming out for a week. I have no idea when it's coming out.
Release maybe?
Who knows? Special Olympics. I don't know.
Jason Tatum, 35.
Ooh.
Let me show some love for the Jordan 35s real quick. I know I keep saying this, and the Jordan 35 is a really nice shoe. Are you a Celtics guy?
I'm a huge Celtics guy, man.
You know, and the shoe is called The Greatest Gift, which I thought the shoe was about his kid, but I guess it's about like the women in his life or whatever that raised him or whatever. And I was like, man, I sure hope this isn't about his kid. I have a problem with like stuff being too personal. I feel like we shouldn't own stuff like that. Like when KD came up with the Aunt Pearl line, I don't think we should be wearing shoes about KD's Aunt Pearl. Like, it just seemed weird to me. That's neither here nor there. I don't even know why I was thinking about that. Like, somebody was like, yo, fam, I got the Aunt Pearl KD4s the other day. And I was like, shouldn't that just be KD's? Like, why are we wearing Aunt Pearl? I get it. It was for breast cancer, but I like the Jordan 35s a lot. I think they are very underrated, and I was very late to the party. Jason Tatum has been playing well, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they have... How the hell do they have enough basketball to go around for him, Jaylen Brown, and what's the point guard's name again? Just came back.
Smart.
Kemba? No,
Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Kemba's been kind of whack.
Oh, yeah. By the way, are you more than just a baseball guy? Are you an all Boston sports guy? Or what?
Yeah, I'm Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, and no, I'm not really into hockey.
Okay. That's kind of how I am. I follow the Kings, and I like the Kings. I know they have a really good system right now in the minors, but they're not very good. So.
I feel like I've neglected hockey.
Now, I will say, hockey, I don't know if you've been to a Bruins game, but hockey is incredible to go to.
Oh, probably
it's the best sport to watch live.
Yeah,
it's just not. I don't know why. I just can't get into it to the same degree I can football, baseball, and basketball.
Okay.
But to see it live is the best sport to watch live.
There are two things that are the absolute best live, and that's hockey and watching wrestling if you're into wrestling. I haven't been to one
NBA is good in person, too.
No, not. Well, if you're sitting almost courtside.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the nosebleeds.
Now, and I'll say, like, the last time we went to a Suns game, we went to Suns Thunder, and we were about 5 rows from courtside. It's a lot different. You know, the conversations and all that stuff is way more.
But I'm saying, being there and you see like a lob or something is different than on TV.
Oh, yeah. It looks so much smaller at that. I'm like, how are these gigantic men on this little court? Anyways, what else come out?
I think that's it.
That's it.
And you said you were talking about the Jason Tatum shoe, and then I think.
Oh, Kobe All Stars came out today, didn't they? I didn't wake up. 2
days yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you try for those?
I tried. I lost. I lost on those and all the dunks that came out.
Would you have kept those?
It depends what. I think that's a shoe like when you get it in the box, you open it, and that's when you decide. I'm sure there's some people who were like knew they were keeping it, but like,
I think Kobe sneakers are not it, man. I understand
I don't know what that means.
When Kobe obviously his early passing, and I always had my opinions on Kobe sneakers because I said that Kyrie sneakers I feel are on a trajectory to be better overall
well, you
better.
Were wrong about that.
I feel like Kyrie sneakers are on a trajectory to be overall better than Kobe's. I feel like we gave Kobe's a lot more credit than they deserved. One, because it was Kobe. Two, because some of the Kobe models have some of the greatest colorways of all time. The models of the Kobe's, though, have not been that good. If you don't have a Grinch Kobe 6, you don't need any other colorway of a Kobe 6. To me, all right? 5s, 4s, I guess. You can freak them. You can figure something out. But 8s, we definitely going to be figuring out something for 8s. But 7s, 10s, maybe. It's not a lot of Kobe that I'm interested in. So these All-Star ones are an easy pass. And the prices on some of the Kobe's, they're not as crazy as you would think they are. Now, Grinches, yeah, them is hard to get. But, I think that's it. Oh, Kawhi has his All-Star sneaker he wore. He wore like a hot pink sneaker, New Balance.
I don't know anything about that, but ALD might have some explaining to do. I don't know if you just saw that picture that came in right now.
What?
The shoes look nothing like the samples.
What, the Amy Lynn Dior New Balances?
You might want to take a look at that real quick because it's a topic now.
Where'd I get it from?
In the thread. You're in the same thread I'm in.
Oh,
just look at the green. Look at the green one.
It's just not as green. Come on, it's kid filter.
Fam, of course it's kid filter, but it is ashy.
I mean, look,
ashy Larry.
Them joints have probably been sitting in a warehouse forever. Y'all thought they were pre-moored.
Don't let me find that.
You better sell them quick.
Yeah. They'll either be sold or traded immediately.
We'll read the other eBay ad later. So we got.
Oh, it's different.
Nah, same one, but like I want to make sure we read it twice. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, like I said, we appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, listen to this podcast. Let me tell you something. When you try to cross a little, genres, your listeners, they get a little bothered, oh, you're talking about hats and stuff. And I'm like, all of you buy hats. Like, that's the one thing I don't understand about sneakerheads. All of us buy hats, and most of us never stopped buying hats, which is so crazy about how hats have come back around, just like cards and stuff like that. Like cards, there were people who never stopped. With hats, we all still bought hats, but we had no idea there was this bigger culture of hat buyers and people who participated in it because we're so enamored in our own thing, which is sneakers, that we don't really focus on anything else. So talk to me about Views from the Vault first, like how that got started and all that. Because a lot of people would find it really hard to do. People thought it would be really hard and impossible to do a show about sneakers, even though the most sneaker news comes out everywhere. And I will tell you this, Pierre, you guys do a phenomenal job with a show about hats. There can't possibly be any better way to do it, period.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I think, listen, this started when COVID kind of hit, right?
Right.
Leon and I have never actually met in person, guys. We've met in hat communities online and whatnot, and that's obviously going to change soon. He's going to come down here and we're going to do some stuff. But back when COVID began, we were looking for a way to kind of keep the hat community sane and to find a way to kind of utilize, our knowledge in the hat world and share it with the rest of the world. So, I approached Leon. I said, "Listen, I think we should do something here." And we started first kind of grassroots on a Facebook group, Fitted Hat Society on Facebook, and we started there. And then we took it to YouTube, and then it's the rest is history. I mean, we were doing a weekly show where we go through every single release, and there's a lot of hat releases every week. You guys probably know, man. I mean, we can go. But I think the big thing was we infused personality. You know, it's about having a good time. We rip some hats. We're not afraid to tell people how we feel about the hats. We really do. We really do a good job of being honest and candid about what we're looking at. We also invited Jason Mead onto the show. He's got that Instagram account called Hat Crawler. That's like a go-to.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
That thing's insane, man. That's the way you kind of. That's how you get your hat needs, right?
Yeah.
Dude must do a ton of work.
He's a smart guy. He's an IT guy. He knows exactly how to kind of. He obviously does a lot of work with it, but he also has a lot of things automated to make it a little bit easier for him. You know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's a fantastic resource, and I got to be honest with you, man. It's been a fantastic journey, man. We were doing live shows every Saturday, and now we've kind of expanded to doing a lot of smaller segments as well to engage the hat community. It's been really taken off, man. But it's been fun.
I will tell you, like you said at the top of the show, that like you know with our show and stuff like that. When I noticed when you guys had added like Hat Crawler and
Monfu.
Yeah, when you guys added them, and I said, dang, I said that looked like a good idea because. You know, I have a lot of ideas for the podcast to like, expand it or make it like a little bit more regular, but I know me and George don't want to do it. Like, there's no way. Me and George can barely get here. Okay. Yeah. So like, and we've never done the YouTube live thing, and I just don't have the patience to like do it. Like I would tell you guys do it flawlessly. And like you said, you guys are very honest about hats. I remember like I think the very first episode I got in there, you were destroying an Astros hat. And it was awful. It was an awful hat because it was an awful hat. And you were like, we have no connections or contracts or nothing with anybody. And you destroyed the hat. And I was like, I like this. Like, I love opinionated stuff on stuff because we're the consumers. Like, and it doesn't mean you're not going to buy a hat from that company later. I just don't like this hat. Like,
exactly.
So how long have you guys been doing it?
It's been about, I think we're approaching a year now in April.
Okay.
So, it's been a year. It flew by though, I'll tell you, man, and it kept us sane through COVID. That's for certain. But it's been an awful lot of fun, guys. And I think Saturday nights have become kind of a community place for everyone to join in and have a good time. But I think the format we use, doing it remotely, allows us a little more flexibility in order to hey, let's jump on and let's film something real quick.
Right.
We'd be talking about it anyway, so we just hey, why don't we just film it? There's some authenticity there. It's organic and it's just kind of off the cuff. We do slap together some visuals, right? But overall, it's just really off the cuff, authentic talk.
Because I was gonna ask, because that was the one thing with us. Like, we come to the studio. One, it's centrally located for both of us to kind of go once we leave work. But I was like, man, there's sometimes where topics pop up. We record right now. Like some sneaker news could come up right now, and we wouldn't know it, and we wouldn't talk about it until next week, And I always thought, man, maybe you should start doing IG Lives, because I always catch you on IG Live a few times with, some of the Brim guys. There's so many Brim names out there now. Blue Brim.
Oh, man, there people are everywhere, man.
Yeah, so everywhere. I always check some of those out, and I'm like, man, maybe I should start doing IG Lives and stuff. But I do appreciate the work you guys put into something that's a topic of it's hats. It's a hat topic. Now, you guys haven't thought about doing it podcast wise, like putting it on Apple and Spotify?
We just got it there. So
it's on there?
We just put it up on I think it's on Spotify right now and Apple Podcasts. But I think iHeartRadio might be up too now. We took someone else onto the team to kind of help us with the podcast because we've got to delegate a little bit of work because I raise 2 kids alone, guys, on top of all this. So I work, raise 2 kids alone, and do this hat stuff. So we needed to find some delegation there. So we brought a young man named TJ onto the team to help us with the podcast. He's also a huge fan of your show. So shout out to TJ.
Shout out to TJ. I don't know
how. As long as he doesn't argue with me on LeBron issue.
Man, he's a debater, but I don't know where he would stand on that topic.
Look, man, I appreciate all the listeners. I know we have listeners that believe the complete opposite of Greg and I, and we appreciate the fact that they still listen because they're into sneakers, hats, and cards, and whatever else we talk about, sports, whatever else we talk about on here.
Yeah.
And by no means would I drive anyone away from the show, but don't argue with me, all right? This is an opinion show. You can have your own opinion,
I love the arguing. I love the arguing.
No, you don't. Because
yes, I do.
You don't. No, but we've talked about this before. You're not going to go back and forth forever on stuff.
No, not forever. But, I I always hate when like people, and I feel like this, like even with, I like look at some of the comments when like Pierre them do their show, like the live thread or whatever, and someone be like, I think that hat's fire, or they'll disagree with something they're saying on their show, and I always tell people, and I told my wife the other day, we were going for a walk, I said, I am never, ever trying to be right on this podcast. Never. My job is not to be right. My job is to look at something from a different perspective and engage in a conversation. People be like, oh, George is right. Oh, man, cool. I don't care. Like, oh, you're right, Greg. Well, I mean, if you feel that way, that's cool. The job of the show was to just talk how we usually talk. That's why when people were talking about George in the discussion, I'm like, no, that's part of the show. Like, when you argue with the homies, sometimes you just veer off and you say some stuff you may not have meant or you accidentally said when you just argue with the homies. And then like later you'd be like, I didn't mean that. I said that wrong. But that's just the way it goes. So,
yeah. But it's not right or wrong, right, guys? It's more like aligned perspectives. So I think like, I love hearing other people's perspectives because it gets me to look at some things differently.
Right.
Like there's some hats out there that I look at, I'm like, this is hideous, right? And then I'll have like 10 people tell me, they'll be like, hey, listen, I love this hat. And they'll tell me why. I'm like, wow, I never thought of it that way. It's got some sort of cultural connection or a connection to where you're from. Right. It's always cool, man. I mean, but I don't get into huge battles or debates with online folks because the whole tenor changes, man. Yeah. I like to have debates with guys, face to face, with my friends, stuff like that. Right. Or even on the show live, you'll see me have debates with some of the guys. Oh, yeah. But with online folks chatting back and forth with their keyboards, I ain't into that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, a lot of people actually probably think that Greg and I hate each other. Oh, that could be further from the truth. Like, we actually say the F word to each other and be totally fine. Like it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever.
I don't care about this stuff.
Oh, man. Leon, myself, and Jason, we shred each other often, man. But, the next day we wake up, we're best friends again. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be. So, so talk to me about, so before the show started, so for everybody's listening, Pierre told us that he has over 5,000 hats, right?
Yeah, there's over 5,000. I can't even keep count anymore. That's an estimate, but it's definitely over 5,000 at this point.
When did you get started?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the first thing we should have asked. Is like
I've been collecting for a long time. It started with my dad, man. My dad was a truck driver. He would collect hats on different places he'd go to. He had a little hat wall of his own that looked nothing like mine, but he had a hat wall nonetheless.
Right.
And he wasn't a materialistic guy at all, man. This was a guy who just worked his ass off and just like took care of his family and whatnot. But that's where it started for me. And I've been collecting not at the velocity I do now forever, but for I don't know, I'd say about the last 5 years, 10 years, it's been pretty high velocity, but now it's at a fevered pitch because there's so much more to choose from, which is pretty cool.
You don't view it as an issue? That's how I'll put it. Only because, and I ask you that because I view us collecting sneakers as an issue. It's a safe hobby, and it's whatever. But I always joke. I'm not joking. I legitimately feel like it's an addiction. But I feel like it's become such a part of like us, or me personally, whatever. That like I have wondered. I can't stop. I know I can't stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who can legitimately say they have 5,000 pairs of sneakers. Like, not even close to that. Maybe some celebrities, maybe. I don't know. But
maybe Mayer did. I don't know.
Maybe. But, like, I have never heard of a collection like that. How do you store them all?
So they're all up here alphabetically by team. So it's all organized really well, man. There's a lot of stuff. If you look on the Views channel too, there's some collection videos that show how I kind of separate some stuff and organize it. But it's certainly well organized. This is not like some disorganized mess up here. That's for certain. But I don't know, man. I'm with you, man. It is an addiction, right? I mean, right. Anybody who's collecting something, there's a reason that drives you to it. But I look at my life in totality. Am I taking care of my kids? Do I have my life in order? Right. Is this the only thing I'm doing? I don't drink. I don't do anything else. This is what I do, And even my girlfriend, she's like, you know what? I support you in what you're doing. And that's, how that is, I'm sure. Like, as long as you have, if the lady's in your corner, the family's in your corner, you're in a good place.
Oh, yeah. That's why, like, right now, my wife, she's not a shoe person, but lately she's been, like, super duper into, like, high fashion shoes. Like, we went to the mall. She's, like, buying a lot of Gucci shoes and stuff like that. And she's, like, asking me, like, oh, should I buy these? And of course, I'm like, of course, go ahead, do your thing. Kind of gives me a little leeway. I'm like, you buy those, I might go ahead and grab a little something, a little something extra this month. But let's talk about too. Like, I wanted to ask you about hat culture, just within itself, because that business of fashion. I think that was the article, and I had looked at it. Yeah. And it had discussed, I guess maybe they don't have any out there.
I saw something in the thing.
It was like a Pepsi or something. I had seen where it was discussing like how sneaker culture has kind of leaked over into hat culture. I don't know if that is, to me, I feel like it has, but I'm speaking from the side of a person who didn't know hats went this deep.
Yeah. Listen, I'll say this. There's one thing that sets hat and sneaker culture apart, and it's the ability of reproducing any hat that's out there. That ability exists. So I do think there's a lot of hype behind hats and certain designs and whatnot. But as you can see out in the hat world right now, you can copy any one of them you want. Like, if someone's got a really unique colorway, there's nothing stopping you from going in there and getting that same LA Dodgers hat in that same exact colorway and throwing it out there. So it's interesting because the reseller culture is kind of something that's super commonplace in the sneaker market, but it's also commonplace now in hats.
Yeah. The
interesting thing is, though, with the hat one, it really shouldn't exist because you can just make that hat again. Anybody can. Not licensed stuff, if that can be remade.
So, because there are times where, I think George has, messaged me, or somebody has, I thought this was, a Hat Club exclusive, colors. Yeah. And then, I'll see it maybe is slightly different, but it looks like essentially the exact same thing on another website. I feel like the watermelon.
100%.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
I feel
100%.
like the watermelon collection I've seen everywhere.
100%, man. There's tons of hats that are just absolutely the same exact hat that another vendor kind of put into the system, and then another vendor picks it up and sells it in their store. So it's exclusive to them for about 10 seconds. And then
they can see a listing of what other groups are putting in for?
Absolutely. They can go right into the system and see that stuff.
Oh, so I didn't know that.
Me neither.
Yeah, so that's kind of so to me that's the key differentiating factor between the two cultures from that perspective, right? Like, you could just remake a hat. So I saw someone there was an AWACS hat. You remember from Menace to Society?
Yeah, we were talking about that one a couple weeks ago when Hat Club did that one.
Yeah, so the AWACS hat. So I just saw someone sell that for $300. Listen, I'm perfectly okay waiting. I have the hat, right? But I'm perfectly okay waiting to see if Hat Club re-releases it or some store on Jamaica Avenue picks it up and sells it in their store. I'm okay waiting on that.
Yeah, because
that makes sense.
No, because
it's not like the one from Hat Club has some official
it didn't even
tag on it that says Hat Club exclusive. You know what I mean? It's like a pin or it's nothing.
Yeah, but how come they don't? How come they don't do that? How come these stores don't create? The pins. Okay, fine. The hat might come with the pin, but how come nobody embroiders anything on the hats that make this a Hat Club or a whatever, a My Fitted or whatever, to make that model the real version of it?
You have seen some that have sweatbands that might be specific to the vendor and whatnot, but then you start taking away from the authenticity of the hat itself, in terms of compromising some things by tagging it a certain way. Now, custom hats, things that you'll see, Hat Club has Design Collective and stuff, you have something that maybe Chamuco or Danny Dionic or Hillside Goods put together. Those things can't be taken because that artwork belongs to them. But with the licensed hats, everything's fair game, man, for the most part.
Okay, so those ones you just mentioned are artists, because I always wondered what those on their emails, what that was referring to.
Yeah, those are artists. The guys I just talked about, Chamuco, who's Ephra, Hillside Goods, which is Chris Cox, and Danny Dionic, John Ink Park. Those guys, theirs can't be because that artwork is theirs. Okay. So you can't just go into the catalog, pick that and sell it in your store. That's not your artwork. But an LA Dodgers cap in black with a purple LA on the front, that, anybody can do that.
Right.
So then do you view do you feel like, I guess, hat culture, or from like your experience of being in it, or anybody who you know in it or surrounded by it, do they have a gripe with the new wave of it?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of the guys that embraces everything, man. I'm not one of those rigid OGs. I'm someone who's like, yeah, I love this, man. I'm open to change. I'm open to seeing new things. But there's a lot of folks out there that absolutely cannot stand pink undervisors. They can't stand the side patches in some cases. There's folks that just are so like, I mean, Jesus, I'm like, open up your horizons. But at the end of the day, you know, there is a large segment of the community that doesn't appreciate the new wave. Both the designs and the collectors.
So, and I'll tell you that ever since I'm not even 100% sure how George and I started picking up on the side patches. I don't know when.
Well, you bought them first.
Yeah, but like, I don't remember how or why. Was it the pre-orders? I think I did the pre-orders with Hat Club. I think, you know, what happened was.
You were buying stuff when it wasn't selling out, and then you told me, here's the navy blue one with the 88 World Series patch. And because 88 was the World Series, the last one they had won at that point, and like that was nostalgic to me. I was like, oh shit, that navy hat with that patch.
Is that what it was? Oh,
that was the first one I tried to buy, and it sold out. So I was pissed about that. That was the first experience. And, you know, obviously this is what I'm already used to, sneaker sellouts. But that was the first hat experience I had where I didn't get the hat I wanted.
Well, see, and that was like...
And, of course, since then, someone else has done it, and another one did it after that, and I could have bought it. I ended up buying it anyways.
And we did, and like Georgia said, like we, you know, when it comes to... you know, when it came to like the hats thing, like we always bought hats. Like I bought hats, tons of hats all the time, but I never bought hats like really looking at it. I bought a hat casually, you know, like, oh, I need a new Dodgers, I need a new Yankee, or like, oh, this black one, or like, you know, when I was, you know, buying a lot of the Kill the Hype stuff, I was like, oh, this is cool, you know, this is different, you know, just buying stuff, you know. And then I remember I went on Hat Club, and I don't know what I was looking for on Hat Club, but I was like, let me go see what Hat Club got, because I think the stores were closed and stuff like that. And I was like, I'll go in here and check it out. And I saw the pre-order for taxis. And I was like,
oh, man.
And I was like, pre-order? That was the first time I had ever heard of or seen a pre-order for a hat. Like, that's how, like, recent it is. And I was like, who the heck is pre-ordering a hat? And I was like, I'll get one later. I didn't know it wasn't like a get one later, you know, type thing. And I was like, oh shoot. Like, and that's when I like started doing a lot of pre-orders with them and like buying a lot of stuff. Do you know when they're going to do pre-orders again or anything about that?
Listen, the pre-order thing is getting dangerous, I think.
Okay.
And I think the reason why is because when you're putting something in, or you're putting some of these hats in, they put it up for pre-order. There's potential that people start releasing the hats. They may get the hats before then. Who knows? Like if it's already been made, right, and then you go to pre-order, you don't know if one of these other vendors already has 20 boxes of those coming through their front door.
Right.
Right? You have no idea. You don't know what's happening. You don't know it's just a very hard thing to kind of gauge right now. But I also think people are fatigued by pre-orders. I think they're sick of them. I think they're sick of like putting in down money and waiting 3 months to get a hat. I really think they're tired of it, because now there's more choices. You can go to many other vendors that are doing things just as cool as Hat Club, in my opinion, and get the hat right now. So to me, it's kind of slowed down.
The only thing that I'm going to say, not against that, but the point that I want to bring up that I actually want you to speak to is, and Andy and I think Andy or Ricardo was one of them, was the one who brought this. Man, I'm gonna say that till the end of time. But Andy or Ricardo is the one who told us like the pins from the Hat Club exclusive releases are flipping for $30 on eBay. Just a pin. So I don't know if it's something that you've noticed.
I have 2,000 of those things. So I don't know, man. Like
you got a car that right there. Then apparently
not the regular everyday Hat Club pins. I haven't seen those selling for that price because those things are a dime a dozen. But I do think they did some unique pins that were specific colorways. So like let's say
the red
velvet. Cookies and cream has a cookies and cream pin, right?
So my buddy sold that for $30.
Yeah, that could happen. That could potentially happen if someone didn't pre-order, didn't get the pin, and they're collecting pins. I mean, dude, I'm not doing it, but
that's crazy. And like the hats are $125. They're flipping for $125. The pins are $30. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's crazy, man, because people can't delay gratification. Just wait for the next one, man. It's like they need to have that one, you know.
Right.
It's pretty crazy.
See, I will say that like that's where I started like kind of messing myself up was, I mean, we talk about taking a lot of L's on sneakers all the time. I mean, we try for a lot of stuff that we don't get.
Yeah.
And during that block of time, hats just seem to kind of fill that void a little bit. But one thing I did get caught up in was like when we were doing the pre-orders with Hat Club, and shout out to Hat Club. I love Hat Club. Hat Club is always, you know, kind of taking care of us a little bit.
Me too. I love them too.
And we grew up with Hat Club like out here. I mean, it was a tradition every Saturday to go to Hat Club and buy a hat. And I used to always go in Hat Club because we had the what was the little discount thing it was, like a membership, and it would give us like 20% off or whatever.
Well, so back in the day, I don't have the discount anymore, even though I have the same email address. But yeah, back in the days, you go in the store, you get 20% off.
Yeah, I used to love that.
That's the OG discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the OG discount.
And I remember, like, I used to go in Hat Club and complain because I hated the way the store was set up because the shelves were too low and it had to be smashed. And I used to be like, raise these shelves up. Like, all the hats, the shelves used to be on top of the hats. But one thing I got caught up was, like, I was pre-ordering way too many hats. Like, I would order like 9, you know, but then in between that 9, I would be buying from here, there, you know, all this. And I was like, oh, crud. Like, I done bought about, you know, 20 plus hats in between this pre-order. It just, and like you said, it sort of did lose that luster a little bit. Like once the pre-order got in, I was like, well, shoot, I had kind of bought a yellow one that was kind of similar to the pink lemonade. You know, I kind of bought one that kind of sufficed that need for it at that time. You know, so like, have you, I mean, would you say that the new wave is equated more to the side patches, right?
Side patches have been around, man. I think what started the new wave, honestly, was the pink bottom. I believe that's where it started in NoHo with Justin and his team at the Hat Club in NoHo.
Right.
That's where the new wave really started, honestly, because there was some popularity with fitted caps again prior to that, but that's what really set it on fire, man. Once it escaped NoHo, and it became kind of like a wider sort of audience to it across the country. That's when things started to take off. Because if you think about it, if you change a UV color in a side patch and a front logo and you start doing that the possibilities become exponentially more.
Right.
And then you have people that want their team in 27 different, you know, varieties of undervisor and side patch. You start saying 27 times 27. It's like, all right, you start talking about 500 different possibilities for a hat, you know, and that changed the game. It changed the game.
And I don't think the pink UV does anything for me. Like there are, like Greg has the hat on right now. I think it looks good on that hat because on the side patch, it's the
it's like gold and iridescent.
No, but it's the iridescent. Yeah. And there are some hats the pink looks good on. Typically black hats, I think it looks best with. But honestly, man, just green and gray, I'd be perfectly fine with every hat having green and gray under brim.
I would too, man. I would too. That I'm certainly like a traditionalist in terms of that's my favorite. But pink isn't that far off from gray. It's but it's certainly different. And it opened, what it did was, whether people really embraced pink or not, it opened the world up to the possibilities of all these different UV colors, you know. I certainly appreciate what it did for the culture, but it's not for everybody, man. You know,
right?
You feel like it's kind of getting like, I mean, I guess the word is saturated, but like, I follow probably about a good 15, 20 different stores, you know.
Yeah.
And at one point during, you know, when we were like really pandemic in the middle of it, you know, I had notifications on for everything. Like, it had got to the point to where it was like, I just had to buy everything. You know, it was like, ooh, that one's fire. I got to cop that one. Oh, look at that one. That was crazy. I got to cop that. And, you know, one thing that, like, with sneakerheads, we spend so much money on sneakers. I mean, a pair of Jordans, you know, cost around anywhere from $160 to $200, you know. So, you know, taking a loss on a $200 pair of sneakers and then, like, you know, supplementing it with like 2 hats that may have cost me like $110, you know, it made you feel a little like more responsible, you know. Like,
yeah.
It was like, you know, and you know, I was talking to somebody else about hats, you know, shout out to the home. I I can't think of his name right now, but we were DMing about hats, and we were talking about like the palm trees on hats and stuff like that, and we were talking about Sports World. We were talking about these places because when you're not in that, well, sneakerheads has always been this way. When sneakers don't come specifically from certain places, and this is back in the day, like now it's like everybody's got sneakers or whatever, but like they'd be like, oh, this store sells fakes. And I remember when like we started really getting into hats or whatever, and people were asking us questions about it. And I was like, look, I'm not versed in like who's selling what and where not to buy and who to buy from. And I was buying a lot from Sports World. I thought first of all, it was easier. I had a lot of easy time to buy from Sports World. And I thought some of their stuff looked really good at the time. But I remember people was like, oh, you know, don't buy from places like Sports World and stuff like that because they make their own stuff or whatever it was. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I have no idea.
I'll tell you right now, man, that's BS.
Okay.
So like, listen,
because I like Sports World.
These it's all about like optics, right? So their website looks, they just recently got a website.
Right.
It looks a little like generic, you know?
Yeah, it's basic. You know, it's crashed a few times trying to buy from there.
Right. If you look, if you these hats are all made in the same place, guys.
Right.
You know, they're made in the same factory. That's it. I mean, these are not these. If you're getting a fake New Era hat, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be. I wonder if it's so rare. It's not happening in these stores. These are real, legit stores that have New Era reps that go in there and help these guys stock their shelves, and they sell the same hats that Hat Club does. But I will say, a lot of folks don't know the difference between wool and polyester. So a lot of these old stores in New York, right, they stick with wool, man, because that's what people grew up on. And some of these newer kids, they come into the game and they've only seen polyester. They go into one of these stores, they see wool, and they say it's fake because they don't understand the difference between the fabrics. and that's the reality, man. I mean, honestly, it's the younger wave that doesn't understand that wool is a different fabric than polyester. And also, there's some folks that have this blind love of Hat Club beyond belief, right? And they just hate anything that's not Hat Club, which is fine if that's your thing. But don't go and slander another business and say that their hats are fake. Those, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I just was gonna jump in real quick and say that it was funny that you brought the wool up because I actually texted Greg a long time ago, like 6 months ago or whatever, and I said, even I'm 41, and he's the one who kind of got me back into buying fitteds. I had bought only snapbacks for 10 years or whatever. Yeah. So I didn't even realize they switched from wool to polyester. Like, I bought some hats, and I texted him. I was like, these joints are polyester. What is this shit? So the ones that still use the wool, like I got a fire wool Dodger hat from Downey that has the 100-year patch, which is my favorite patch, the 100th anniversary year.
It's that one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I might be wearing it.
Yeah, you're wearing it right now.
I was like, I don't remember which one.
You're wearing it right now.
I don't remember which one I was wearing. Yeah, I don't remember which one I was wearing. But this is a wool hat, and I just appreciate the fact, like, by no means am I ever going to slander a business. As long as you're selling legitimate New Era stuff, then I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'll wear a polyester hat just like I'll wear wool. But like I said, back when I first got back into it, I texted him, and I was like, what is this polyester shit? And he just was saying, like, that's the majority of what people do now. And honestly, when someone's wearing it, you can't tell a difference.
Well, no, you can tell when you're wearing it, though, because wool to me feels more like a broken-in old pair of sneakers, right? And polyester is it's got more of this strong form to it, and it doesn't shrink and that sort of thing.
Right. No, I meant like when someone else is wearing it, not when you're wearing it. Like when I'm wearing it, absolutely. Yeah,
no, you can't tell from looking at someone's hat, really. I mean, unless it's like all pilled up, because that's what wool does after a while, you know. But I will say to you guys, too, a lot of this was fueled by you're asking about like people saying that certain places are fake and whatnot. This was all fueled by folks taking other hat designs that may show up in other stores, and then you're seeing they were felt a certain sort of way, and then it turned into like everyone's copying that, and the whole thing of not understanding the difference between the fabrics.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that like even when so I don't know if you know J Tips personally or anything like that.
No, I don't know him personally, but I'm familiar with his work.
Okay, so like, you know, J Tips came on the podcast a long time ago, and, you know, we talked, and this was before he was doing hats or anything like that. We were just talking to him about, you know, sneaker stuff. And I remember when his hats came out, and like one was sort of like the infrared, you know, pink color, and one was like the icy looking purple, whatever those two colors were considered for those hats. And I remember when other stores started dropping hats in those colors, like a Yankee hat in those colors. And I remember, and this is no joke. Now, this is us just being naive because we didn't know anything like about it, because I do feel like, in you giving the understanding about how colorways and stuff like works, I honestly thought like, oh, those two colors are strictly J-tip hats. For some odd reason, I didn't think like, oh, anybody else would make these again. And I remember when a store had dropped, it might have been Sportswear, I don't remember, had dropped the same colors in those hats. And they were other ones. And I remember people messaging me going, yo, what do you think about this? Or is this like a fake J-Tips thing? And I remember I was like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't know, because I only equated those two colors with his stuff.
Listen, I explained this on the show a couple of weeks back, and basically all these folks that are putting these hats together, they're playing with New Era's Legos, and they're building something with New Era's Legos. They're not their Legos. So once they put this creation together, anybody can make that same creation.
Right.
And that's kind of where it's at, So I think from a consumer's perspective, like, I wouldn't hate if someone else did that, because now's your second chance to go get the hat.
Right.
Like, just embrace it and move on with your life, because honestly, like, there's plenty of room out here for everybody to kind of eat. So just allow it to happen and just do your thing and stop dwelling on it too much,
And see, what it was is like, we tried our best to like take pictures for social media, and stuff like that, and post on my IG. And I remember, and I didn't buy the hat because it was like that pink one. And I was like, man, I really wanted it, but I didn't buy it because I'm not going to say it was a fear, but like, I didn't want to post that hat like, yo, on social media. And then like some hat dude be like, look at that fake hat, like, or that wannabe. That's my thing. Like, when you step into other cultures, like genres of stuff, and you don't know, it didn't make me nervous, but it did make me feel a little weird. I have an Angels hat that I bought. And I haven't worn it yet. It's the polyester whatever, and I haven't worn it yet because it looked better on the pictures or whatever, but like I felt something was weird with it. And I was like, oh man, I do not want one of these hat cats. I ain't trying to be made fun of in somebody else's genre. It's one thing to get made fun of my own, but you get made fun of somebody else's.
Listen, man, I'll tell you guys something. There's a reason why I spend so much time with the little stores in New York and whatnot. And a lot of it's to change the perception around that stuff. I believe that myself and the show, we help legitimize in the eyes of collectors and hat buyers, sports world. Because I vouch for them, because I've been in there. I've met them. I know Ash, the owner. I know everybody out there, right?
Right.
These are families trying to put food on their plates, man. These are not big corporations trying to take over the world. And, I really have a hard time when a lot of folks kind of gang up on those stores just trying to put food on the table and discrediting them. I love those people, man. They're good people, man. Right. I just went out to Brooklyn. There was a store in Brooklyn called Fulton Hat, right? They're just two guys that are running a hat store and doing it the right way, and they don't need all that, right? And I don't know, man. No one's going to do that to me. If I post a hat and I say where I got it, and they start telling me, "Oh, that's a fake," they're going to get put in their place right quick, because I know that the hat's real, and they know that I know the hat's real. And
that's the thing. And I'm speaking more to like on our side, because like. There's a lot of sneakerheads who they're trying their best to learn. And right now I feel like, everybody's kind of got a clear idea on stuff and what it is. But every once in a while we do get messaged about like, hey, should I buy this? What do you think? And I'm like, yeah, man, buy them all. Like, buy them. Like, I mean, I don't see why
Greg,
not.
You can send them my way if you want, Greg. I can help you.
Yeah, I will. I'm like, I always tell them like, y'all should watch this show. But
I think in general people ask that of us and of other people who do shows and whatnot. And really it's like, to be honest, it's hard to answer the question because I don't have to wear it. You do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people are searching for that, like you earlier, you said gratification, but it's almost like acceptance too.
Or validation.
Yeah,
right?
validation, exactly. Like acceptance, validation, gratification. But sometimes, like, I don't want to steer anybody wrong. So it's like, I don't know. You got to wear it, not me.
I do think it's dope though how you said you do go to these places in New York, like Jamaica Ave, and you go to all these like places because it seems like those might be the last, I mean, if you want to say streetwear, I guess, like versions of mom and pop shops.
What about Canal Street? Canal Street is Greg's favorite thing to talk about, like in terms of New York City.
But like, yo, I remember I bought these earrings from Canal Street. I thought I was tight. They were these big squares. It's like we call them coat of arms. They were gigantic. But I feel like those places, like I think it's like Harlem, USA, or Cap Harlem, or
Cap USA Harlem.
Yeah, like that. It's only one of those, right? Or like maybe two.
Yeah, there was. I believe those used to be franchised.
Oh, okay.
And I believe now Cap USA Harlem has been around for a long time, but you know what you're talking about. These are the last threads of these are the OG hat guys, man. These are the people that have been doing this since 94, 93, you know?
And
all of them.
I was talking to a guy who shops there all the time, and he said that, like, you know, he was going to some of these smaller places, and, you know, they kind of started, like, getting the Mitchell & Ness jerseys, and, you know, they started kind of, you know, expanding a little bit. And he was saying that before this hat wave, some of these places were in trouble. Like, they were
they were. A lot of them were going to have to close their doors, man.
Yeah.
I know that, man. I know it for a fact because I've talked to them. But they still survived. You know, when you think about it, some of these stores have been through multiple recessions, you know, COVID, and they're still standing. It's impressive.
Do you see at some point, like, any stores, or I don't know if that's a decision that would have to be, like, gone through a new era, but like a store taking exclusively, like with the Justin thing with the pink bottoms? I don't even know. I guess we should have asked him that when he was on the show. He came on the show before. Like, was there any option or possibility of, like, that being strictly a hat club thing? Okay.
No, it's a color. It's a color, man. New Era just wants to make its money. Okay, they're not going to sit here and say, "Hey, hat club, we're going to narrow the market for pink bottoms to just you." It's a color, you know, and like I said, it's a Lego in their little creation. It's something they're not going to take it away.
Right, because even with that, like, because when we had Justin on here and he talked about how he was like, anybody can do it. He was like, I don't own the color pink, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, and I do feel like it does kind of suck that, like, when the market does get saturated with, like, stuff like that, especially when you're like the creator of it, you know, sometimes you do kind of want your just due. And I remember when I started seeing pink bottom undervisors elsewhere, I was like, what the heck is this? I felt offended. I was like, this ain't Justin's.
Yeah. It was like a slap in the face at first, but then you became kind of accustomed to it. Well, at least I did. But that's why, like, places to me like My Fitteds are different. Right. The stuff they're doing there is so unique now. It's like if you copy that, someone knows, man. I mean, it's like it's that different, you know.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's a tough space to be in, but you can't own a color.
How do you feel about, like, I know you guys have had, like, a few people on the show that, like, had collaborations and stuff like that. Like, how do you feel about, you know, and this is just an example because J-Tips is a homie. Shout out to J-Tips. But, like, you know, people that have the hats and they embroider their own stuff on it and sell it for more. And, you know, and even how does, like, how does things like that happen? You know,
I mean, it's mostly organic, man. I do think that the whole, like, post-production embroidery stuff, I think it started with LeBron James wearing that hat. You know, I mean, it started back then, and then you started seeing a lot of folks trying to do the same thing. But I don't know. I think that's not going to have much more life to it. I don't believe. I think it's starting to see its last days. But collaborations can still they just seem to be happening organically, man. Okay. I mean, two people get together, just like, hey, let's do something together. Like, you know, I got something coming out with Sports World. I have something coming out with Hat Club.
Oh, really?
Manolo. Yeah, so custom stuff that I did some artwork with John from Ink Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming, but it's all about, like, I guess the collaboration just happened through natural organic networking, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I was going to ask you, like, is there anything, like, upcoming for you guys, you know, anything you guys are working on, or, you know, have you guys, like, been, you know, approached, you know, for, you know, ideas or anything, or?
Man, it's all the time, man. It's like, you know, we've got projects coming with different companies. We're approached quite often for our insight. I mean, I've been offered jobs by several hat companies. I'm like,
really? That's tight.
Yeah, I don't need a job. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing, man. I love it. It's fun, you know, and I think you guys are going to see some cool stuff coming from us pretty soon.
No, I do. And I was like, man, I had seen Leon had post like the Views hats, and I never saw them go for sale.
Well, we do. Listen, we're working on our platform. So I also have a small company called Good Hats where I'm in this with John from Ink Park. And what we're doing is a majority of the money is going to charity. So like we're kind of commissioning artists and John, who's an artist, to create cool logos and then finding a good cause to give most of the profits to, and then the rest of the profits go to the artist. You know, it's a pretty cool thing that we're doing right now. But it's small time right now, you know?
Right.
Just recently, I don't know if you guys saw the hat that I collaborated with My Fitteds on. It was the one from the album cover of Donuts, Jay Dilla's album.
Yeah.
That Detroit hat.
Detroit one? I just saw that one. I saw the pre-order was up on My Fitted.
Yeah, it just ended. I did that one with John Jay at My Fitteds.
So you were involved with that?
Yeah, that was my idea, man.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was a huge Jay Dilla fan. The album Donuts meant a lot to me, and I know how much it meant to the hip-hop community. And the hat on the cover, I wanted to recreate it. So John Jay helped me make it happen.
Oh, man, that's tight.
I've been to many a Slum Village live shows.
Man, Slum Village, man. The Fantastic Volume 2 is one of the best albums ever,
the greatest
man.
albums ever. That's the 100%. That's facts.
Well,
also, like... No, you know, my other favorite album that's got Jay Dilla influences, like Water for Chocolate by Common. He did most of the production on there, and the Far Side's Lab Cabin, California. He did a lot of production there. So Dilla was a huge influence, and I wanted to recreate the hat, you know. But John Jay made it happen.
No, that's dope, man. And I mean, I do want to see like a lot more from you guys. Like, I feel like you guys do have, you know, a phenomenal platform. Are there any other hat shows out there?
You know, I think, listen, there's unboxing shows, you know, but
I don't consider those shows.
Yeah, see, when we started this, you're not going to really see me do many unboxings. I think I've done a few here and there, but we wanted this to be something that was much more collaborative, and like, I don't know, like the platform was just easier to build off of. We don't want to be one-trick ponies, you know? So right. I think we build something that also involves a lot of other people, man. We give other people a platform to kind of shine. We have a couple of folks on our channel right now that want their own YouTube channels, and we're allowing them space on ours to kind of get started with an audience, you know?
Yeah, so. And see, that's what I've been kind of, you know, doing, because I would tell you this, you know, hearing you say, you know, you're raising 2 sons on your own and stuff like that. You guys put out a lot of content. Like, yeah. I'm talking, it's almost daily. Like, it feels like daily.
Oh, no, it is daily. It's multiple videos daily, but we get it all done in batches, you know? So, like, I'm like, dude, you know, it's like we would have been talking on the phone anyway. So we're like, all right, let's just turn on the Zoom and just do it that way, you know? It's been fantastic. But now that the team's got a little bit bigger, like, I can step off and not do a video here and there, and, like, Leon doesn't have to do every video. So we found a way to kind of balance our time the right way.
Yeah, and see, I've been like, when I noticed you guys started doing that, I was like, dang, man, that's a good idea, because, you know, there are times where, like, you know, big sneaker situations come out, you know, like when the Ann Hebert stuff came out about, you know, her son, the resale business, and, you know, all that stuff like that. It was like I don't know what day it was when we found that, like a Thursday or something, you know, so we had to wait like 5 more days to come here and talk about it. And when it comes to news, when it comes to stuff like that, when you got the internet, stuff gets old so quick. Like,
you're right.
It's like, all right, well, I know everybody already talked about it already, but here's our opinions on it now. Now, I do feel like we give the best opinions on stuff like that because we're ourselves all the time. But, you know, like I said, your shows, like, there are plenty of shows out there that talk about, you know, you guys do an hour, 2 hour plus show, hour and a half, 2 hour plus show on hats. Like, that's not, and when I'm watching it, I'm like looking at the like little, not side ticker, I guess. You know, you guys go through each store. It is impeccably done. I will tell you that. I was going to ask you, is there anything right now in hats that you're not liking what you're seeing?
I would say a lot of this multi-embroidery, like these multiple embroidery hits on hats right now. It's like, I've had enough. Like with, palm trees here, beach ball there, penguin on the back, like cheesesteak there. It's just like, I think it's getting to be too much. And I also, I think George kind of touched on it earlier. It's, some of these pink bottoms or these UVs that just have no business being on a hat. It's like I call them Frankenstein hats, where you have all this different stuff going on and people are just doing it to be crazy with no rhyme or reason. That I'm sick of.
And see, I feel like it's so saturated out there right now that people are just trying anything now,
Yes.
There are a couple hats that I saw last week, and it was like green bandana, the paisley undervisor. I'm not a fan of stuff like that. Like I seen like the Hawaiian ones, kind of, the floral, whatever. Yeah. And I didn't think the paisley one was too bad. But then I was like, oh man, I don't know what's going on in the hat world. Like, I don't know. But like, I feel like, oh man, that's going to try to be the next wave, like crazy under patterns, because I think that one of the hats that you had
that's definitely not for me, by the way.
One of the hats you had kind of destroyed on the show was it was a Astros hat, and it had space under it, and it was glowing in the dark, and it had a rocket ship, and I was like, what is this?
You know what I will say? This, just looking at it real quick, but this hat that My Fitted did, this green Dodger hat with the tan under brim or whatever, that's fire. I've never seen the tan or whatever color you would call that, underbrim, gold maybe.
I don't know. Is
that the Flower Boy hat?
Yeah, it has the little heart on the side. That's the first time I'm seeing this hat. This hat's fire.
Yeah, you know what it is? Their storytelling is second to none. So every hat has a story. So I think that's Tyler, the Creator's Flower Boy album cover cap. I think that kind of stuff is what sets it apart. So, you start to think about the stories that are behind these caps, people connect to that, Right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's the other thing My Fitted does a great job with. Besides the design, there's a great story behind it.
I had seen one thing I was buying from My Fitteds a lot at first when we were getting back into it, and I haven't bought from there in a while, and it's because I can't never seem to catch when these hats drop. They post the most pictures
tough.
ever, and they post these pictures, and I'm like, ooh, and it's coming soon. And what's the other guy? Is it Russ?
Yeah.
Russ Sunset?
Oh, that's John Jay, man. Russ at Sunset, that's John Jay.
Man, that cat posts some of the most fire stuff ever, and I'm like, ooh, coming soon. I got my notification. I got everything on, and I could never catch any of them. Then I go on there and look, sold out. And I'm like, okay. I'm never going to get my hands on these.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Reach out to me when you see something. Let me know. I'll see what I can do.
Don't say stuff like that, because I will. Let me tell you something.
No, I don't. Listen, man. I don't say stuff I don't mean. So hit me up if you need something. Maybe I can talk to John Jay.
Because you know what, I have when we first started this show, people would say stuff like that to us, and you're like, I appreciate it, but I don't want to be that guy. Nah, we've been doing this show for 5 years now.
I don't
I'm hitting up anybody now.
I don't in life in general, I'm not a big favors guy, but there is one person I ask sporadically for sneakers, and he's helped me get a couple things. So, I certainly appreciate it. Apparently, he's now helping my wife get something. So, shout out to the plug. He knows who he is. But, yeah, for the most part, I'm not an ask guy. What I would like to do is try to do favors first. One of the guys we had on the show not too long ago, John, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when Johnny was here?
Last week, I think. A couple weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
So, Johnny has been in cards a little bit longer. He has plugs and whatnot, and I just plugged him on a pair of shoes. So, it's almost like, this relationship, and he was even asking me, he was like, how much do you want for the shoe? I was like, nah, man, it's retail. That's how I look at it. I do you a favor now, you do me a favor in the future, kind of thing.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. That sets you off.
I'm joking. Man, one other thing I did want to ask too is shout out to Leon. Leon has been somebody who has when it comes to making stuff for the show, it just makes me want to throw up, to be honest with you. I'm such a perfectionist in what I want to do, and one of the things is that I really want to put out stuff that we want to buy, and people are always like, oh, make a shirt and all this, and hats. We joke about it all the time on this podcast. This is a sneaker podcast, but you can only see our shoulders, our face, and our hats. That's the only thing you can see. We could be wearing flip flops under this table. You wouldn't know it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm wearing pajama pants right now, so I guess we're all good.
Yeah, but it's a little bit later where you're at right now. So, and you know what's funny is a lot of those news programs where people were wearing like a suit jacket on top, they were like wearing pajamas or whatever on the bottom. So it's like no different.
That's like you watch Inside the NBA and Barkley, they be wearing like sweats under the table and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, like one of the things too, like I was saying is like when I was talking to like Leon about it, and I'm like, I do want to like get something made. You know, how often do you guys get, you know, people, you know, who want to make stuff, or like I've heard that like to have a new era contact is hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard. I mean, listen, I think there's a lot. First of all, to do anything licensed, you really do need a brick and mortar. So you need to have an actual retail store. But some of the custom stuff, there are ways to kind of get that done. Those accounts aren't necessarily easy to get, but you know they can be gotten. You know, to do like custom work and whatnot. But you guys want to create something? We're certainly down, man. We're certainly down.
How do you feel about and this is just out of the blue, how do you feel about Cam Newton back to the Patriots?
Man, you know, listen, I don't know what the alternative is. You know, I think Cam's a fantastic guy, a fantastic athlete, but I'm not certain. I'm not certain this. I know this isn't a long-term plan. Right. But I will say the Patriots' first day in free agency was the biggest they've ever had. I mean, they went all in this year, man.
Losing their minds that day.
Swiped Aguilar right out from under our noses. Yeah. I'm a Raider fan. I didn't think they would re-sign him. I figured, you know, he'd get a decent-sized deal as a free agent, and good for him. Yeah. He deserved it after the year he had last year. Hopefully, I mean, not that I'm a Patriots fan. You know, I'm not going to root for a team that's not mine, but hopefully you get the good Aguilar and not the bad Aguilar. Because if you get the good one and Cam's arm is okay.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, you don't have a lot of wiggle room with Belichick, so, you know, he's going to have to either behave or leave. So it's it. I mean, that's the one thing about Bill. He's not going to allow anybody to goof off on that team, you know?
Absolutely.
Nah, he's not.
I was kind of surprised about the Antonio Brown thing, like them bringing him in after all that. I mean, I know Belichick wants to win and whatnot, but I thought that was kind of weird.
Well, they've given some folks a chance. And they see if they straighten up or not. But
when they brought in Antonio Brown, it made me think. I was like, when they had brought in Corey Dillon, you know, at one point when he was viewed as problematic, they brought in Ocho Cinco at one point when he was kind of viewed as like a problem. Now, it wasn't to the degree of Antonio Brown. Corey Dillon, maybe, I feel like back then.
Corey Dillon was a pain in the ass with the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
He ended up being a linchpin to the offense, man.
Yeah, he was he was going through it with the Bengals, you know, and he was a good player. You know, I think he came and he got a Super Bowl with the Patriots one year.
What about Randy Moss? Randy Moss
is
Randy Moss was probably the biggest turnaround story we saw. He was very disgruntled in L.A. Or with the Raiders, and then I don't know.
I think you make an exception when you have the top 2 wide receiver of all time, though. I mean, come on.
You do, but Antonio Brown.
I would argue. Listen, I think Jerry Rice is going to go down in history as the better of the two, but athletically, I think no one was better than Moss. Moss was oh my freak. God.
Well, what's crazy about that too is that Justin Jefferson broke all his rookie Vikings records. Like, I mean, what?
He Randy was balling. I thought his records for Minnesota would be untouchable at any level, rookie, any year whatsoever.
Well, the year he had with the Patriots is. I don't know if are there any year league records that Moss does he have touchdown record or
I don't think he has.
I think he has a receiving touchdown record that year.
That from that year.
Really?
Yeah, he must have had 20 plus touchdowns that year.
Okay, yeah, because I think Rice's record was 22 maybe, but Brady threw what 58 or 55 or something like that touchdowns. That's
I mean I think 11 of them he just chucked up into the end zone and ran because there was no rhyme or reason to what he was throwing. He literally would just throw it as hard as he could into that end zone and Randy would catch him.
I remember watching closely because it was the Raiders were the ones who traded him, and it was you kind of got the feeling like all right he's just going to be a superstar and Patriot land now.
One thing I did want to ask you too. Sorry, just going back real quick. I was going to ask you, how do you feel about, I feel like I see there's a lot of collectors out there that won't wear any other team. You know.
Oh man.
How do you feel about that?
The only team that's off limits for me is the Yankees. But I think again, I think you've got to open up your horizons a little bit, man. There's too much cool stuff out there to just have one team if you're really into hats, you know. That's just my opinion. But I also do get it. You know, if someone's like super loyal to their team, that's all they'll wear. I get it, man. But for me, I had someone challenge my Red Sox fandom because I wear other teams' hats. I'm like, I got to tell you right now, I'm as diehard a Red Sox fan as there is, but that doesn't mean I need to wear the B all day long. I mean, it's not like I'm not married to Boston. I mean, It's just like I'm a diehard fan though, but I'm going to wear an LA hat. I'm going to wear a Pittsburgh hat. I'm going to wear what I think is cool. I'm just not going to put a Yankees hat on. That's my line.
And see, like, you know, people always say that about me too, because I'm a Dodgers fan, you know, fully a Dodgers fan. But I lived in a lot of places, and I know a lot of places that, like, I feel are very important to me. You know, I've been I've only been to maybe 3 Dodgers games actually, you know what? Well, I've only been to 3 Dodgers games in LA my entire life. I've been to plenty of them when they come out here to play the Diamondbacks. But like Oakland, like the A's and the Giants, I used to go to their games probably once a month, you know, when I lived in the Bay Area. You know, it was always for something, always had tickets, you know, especially when the A's weren't as good, you know, like they would give. It was like at one point you go to the grocery store and spend $25, you get 4 A's tickets. You know, we was going to the A's. We were hopping on the BART going to the A's game in one of the worst stadiums in the history of sports. I mean, the Raiders played there as well. I mean, it's one of the worst stadiums in sports history. It's not even a question. It felt like a
Coliseum?
prison. Yeah, right there by Oracle, right there off the freeway. Yeah, it's one of the worst. It felt like a prison yard. I was like, we're sitting on cement. We don't have chairs. We're sitting on blocks. And I was like, this is too much for me. And it was the most fighting and scrapping I'd ever seen in my entire life at baseball games. I would understand that at football games, but I never understood it at a baseball game. I had never seen anybody fist fight at a baseball game until I went to an Oakland A's game. And that's facts. So.
From rare dead stock to the latest release, you can find the exact sneaker you're looking for on eBay. As the original sneaker marketplace, eBay is the place to go to cop the pair you've been eyeing. In partnership with eBay, Armchair Media will be raffling off 4 custom-made sneakers. Each purchase you make before March 31 through ebay.com/sneakers will enter you into a drawing for 1-of-1 pair of Air Force One lows. Just send a screenshot of your purchase to @ArmchairMedia on Twitter or Instagram. That's ARMCHAIRMEDIA, all one word connected, Armchair Media. Whether rare, dead stock, or latest release, find the exact shoe you're looking for on eBay. With eBay's authenticity guarantee, your sneakers are meticulously inspected by independent professional authenticators. A team of experienced sneaker authenticators verify the box, logo stitching, and dozens of other inspection points. Each sneaker also receives an authenticity guarantee tag that includes a digital stamp of authenticity and is customized with the sneaker's details. Authenticity guarantee also protects sellers with a verified return process. It's free, FREE, to sell sneakers of $100 or more on eBay. And thanks to eBay's authenticity guarantee, verified returns make the whole transaction worry-free. With other sites taking as much as 25%, you're going to have a lot of extra money left for, Greg?
Sneakers. I just realized I haven't even asked Pierre what sneakers he got in his collection.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't talked about sneakers.
I'm definitely a Jordan 1, Jordan 3 guy. Okay. My favorite sneaker of all time is the black cement 3s. I mean, that's my go-to. I know that's probably a pretty generic answer, but
well, it's easy to wear, so it makes sense.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I probably have. Well, I don't know.
You're an older guy, right? I mean, we're old. Like I figure about the same age. Right?
I'm 43.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I'm 38 and George is 41. So
all right, so I'm the old guy here.
Yeah,
barely.
So like that's
I'm not New Balance 504 old. Whatever the hell those are. I'm not like grill shoes old.
Yeah, but see, like, you know what's funny is that like we talk about like Jordan 3s and stuff like that. Like they're supposed to be like Jordan 1s, Jordan 3s. Those are supposed to be our favorites because we were there. You know what I mean?
Yes. And not only that, man, it's something that for me as I get older, it's what can I pull off effectively.
Oh, 100%.
For me, Jordan 1s and 3s, man, they just look right on me at this point. But that doesn't mean I don't have other stuff. I mean,
right.
I like Air Max 97s. I love those. I love 95s. But again, those are older sneakers, you know. Yeah. The new stuff, though, I still get into it, man. But I'm not going to go too crazy all in on them.
I thought I saw you wearing a pair of Travis Scotts one time.
Oh, I have the Travis Scott 1s and highs and lows. Yeah, I've got some stuff, man. I've got some stuff. I just, listen, man, I just like what I like. So,
right.
I know a lot of people turn their noses up to like one mids, but I still wear one mids. I don't care.
Right.
If I like them, I wear them. That's it. You know.
You able to get Travis Scott's for retail, or did you have to pay for resale for them?
No, I was able to get the lows retail, but the highs I had to pay resale.
Oh, okay. I think if I would have got one, I wouldn't even got the other.
I just like them so much, man. I don't know. The colors, man, I just love them.
The low is definitely, to me, the low is a better shoe, but I'm not, just recently not a high Jordan 1 guy.
How often you find yourself buying shoes?
The last pair I bought were those Bodega Dunk Legends. I bought those. I don't know. There's something about it I just liked.
Oh, my God. Are you talking about that baseball glove one?
Yeah. Yep.
Ew.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, he's a baseball guy, so.
Yeah.
It don't look like a baseball glove. It look like that's the thing. It doesn't resemble baseball. I just don't understand. If you're gonna do something baseball, it has to look like the baseball. You can't do any other element of baseball.
Well, no, it wasn't that. To me, it was like you picked a basketball shoe to do a baseball collab. That's what I didn't.
Yeah,
understand.
that's kind of true. Not
that you're gonna pick a baseball cleat, but you can pick like a trainer or something like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Dunks are hot. I get it. But it's not. It's a basketball shoe. It's not a baseball shoe.
I just wish I could look at it and say, like, oh, man, that looks like a baseball mitt. I couldn't. You can't tell what it is. They should have, like, made it after a uniform. It should have been a baseball. It would have been generic. But, yeah. You paid resale for those or you got those?
Either, though. I don't know.
Have you worn them?
No.
Yeah, you probably won't.
You're probably right. You're probably right. It was just like Bodega's a Boston spot, so I'm showing some support.
Yeah, I went in there when I was in Boston a couple years ago. Crazy. I mean, great experience, like walking through the actual setup that they have that looks like a bodega. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a cool ass spot, man. And they have one in LA too, right? I think they have one in LA.
Yeah, they did open one. Yep. And I've actually been to Fenway twice, too, man. That's a hell of an experience.
I love Fenway, man.
I drove by it. I haven't been inside.
One of my friends had seats on the Monster. Ironically, a friend from Arizona was also at a game when I was there, had seats on the Monster, and we walked up there. And you can't actually go to the seat. They have security there stopping you, but we stood up there with it. It's pretty cool to stand up there and watch some of the game.
You know what it is, too? It's like that. It's like Fenway and Wrigley are just the old school places that still feel like you're back in the 70s or 60s watching a baseball game. You know, it's different, man. Yeah, like absolutely. It's not like a shopping mall with a baseball field attached to it.
Well, Dodger Stadium is like that, too. I think Dodger Stadium now is the third oldest park behind those two.
Wrigley and Fenway, yeah. But the atmosphere around it's just so cool. You know, I love places like that.
Was Dodger Stadium older than Candlestick? Was it older than Candlestick?
Yeah, they moved before the Giants did.
Okay.
At least, I mean, well, I guess that doesn't mean anything because they played in the Coliseum for a little while. But yeah, they moved before the Giants, I think. Or maybe it was the same season. But Dodger Stadium, I think, was built. They were only in. They played in the Coliseum for a couple years. And then maybe somewhere else. But Dodger Stadium was built fairly, like maybe 3 years after they moved, something like that.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium was built in 59.
So 4 years after they moved, because I think they moved in 55.
Opened in 62. Oh, they broke ground 59, opened in 62.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah. Or maybe they moved in 58. Does that say what year they moved?
58.
58, yeah, okay. That's what it was. Yeah, so they didn't play very long in the Coliseum and wherever else it was. But yeah, I don't know much about Candlestick's history. I don't know if it was built specifically for the Giants or built for something else and they took it over or what it was. But that AT&T Park it's hard to have a bad-looking area in San Francisco, but it is incredible. I don't know. Are you? As a matter of fact, that's actually a good question. How many ballparks have you been to? Are you a big travel and go to all the ballparks guy?
Yeah. So my kids lost their mom about 3 years ago, right? So the first thing we did was we did a baseball trip to kind of get their minds off of that. So we went up the East Coast. We started down in Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, the two New York stadiums. We went to Boston. And we're continuing on that tradition. We're going to hit them all. But my favorite ballpark of them all, besides Fenway, is Camden Yards in Baltimore.
Well, first, let me say condolences. We have both ourselves lost family members and me somewhat recently. So I understand how it is. And, with the baseball nostalgia, I kind of have the same thing you are. I think I've been to like 14 or 15. So kind of tick them off a little bit. Before Corona hit, every summer my wife and I would try to hit 1 or 2 ball games up in our travels. And we would try to do like wherever the Dodgers are on the road, we would go into those ballparks. And so I've seen them in Seattle, Colorado, Cincinnati, a couple different places. But yeah, you brought up Camden. I went to Camden in '96, so I think the second year it was open. And it was just blown away by how cool that ballpark is.
Dude, it's so nice, man. It's like, I don't know. There's something about the way it's designed, man. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the one that I've been to since that I think took over the lead for me in the best ballpark is Pittsburgh's park. The way they designed that on the river, looking into downtown is absolutely unreal.
Yeah. Listen, my least favorite, I'll tell you guys, that I've been to is the Washington Nationals Park.
I have. Well, no, I haven't been to the new one. I went to when they were playing in the.
I think they played in RFK, didn't they?
Yeah, RFK. Oh my God.
Oh no, the new one's terrible too, man. That's literally a shopping mall with a baseball field.
Okay. I haven't been to that one.
They can't even get the grass right, man. And they had Bryce Harper, so that made it worse.
I like Bryce Harper. All right. I don't have anything else to ask, man. I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man.
Well, we can talk briefly about, I guess, just sports real quick. If you want to have a sports conversation. Yeah. You said you're a basketball guy. What's your finals prediction here? Do you think the Celtics
don't say Celtics because it ain't happening.
This isn't the Celtics year.
No.
It's just not. I think I do think that Jaylen. I'm in the minority here, but I believe Jaylen Brown's the better of the two between him and Tatum. I've been saying that for a while now.
I don't hate the take. I don't know that I have a personal take, to be honest. You've probably watched more Celtics than I have. I just remember watching him in college because he played out here on the West
Jaylen
Coast.
Brown is better than Jason Tatum, but you needed Jason Tatum.
Jaylen Brown learned how to control his body. So Jaylen Brown was so damn athletic when he first came into the league that he couldn't control himself, man. He was all over the place, right? And then you saw him learn how to control his body. He's become a phenomenal basketball player. I love Jason Tatum too, but I think Jaylen Brown's the one with a bigger upside. But I don't know, man. I'm not certain who's going to make it to the finals, to be honest, right? It's just weird. There's no real – I don't feel really confident in any team.
I think people felt confident about the Lakers until the Anthony Davis injury stuff popped up. But, yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. No, I do think you're right about that. But I think there's concerns about his ability to stay healthy now, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. I think that's good for the league, man. I like going into a playoff scenario where you don't really have favorites, man. That's kind of fun.
Absolutely.
Well, I definitely will say that's what it's looking like with March Madness. That's another discussion.
This is the first year I haven't watched college basketball in the last 30 years of my life. I have no idea. I know Gonzaga's undefeated. I know Baylor's good, but other than that, I know nothing.
I know nothing about it. But
it's been more difficult for me to connect with sports with COVID, man. It's almost like you've been sitting here waiting for it to cancel. You don't feel like you don't feel this sense of security with it right now. That's just, and I know we're getting towards the tail end of COVID, in my opinion, but it still didn't feel the same to me. The fans not being there, all this different stuff, it all equated to. Sure. I don't know, man, a little lackluster product in my opinion.
Well, even when it was still kind of continued, or when it kind of came back, I had got so used to not having it. It was such a major part in my daily routine, that when it finally came back, I realized it didn't mean as much to me as I thought it did. You know what I mean?
I remember learn to cope.
Yeah, when the NBA came back to the bubble, I had it on the TV, but it was the ideal situation. They were showing sometimes 3-4 games a day to try to catch up in the bubble, but I couldn't focus on it because I was just man, I can't believe that I was using 3 hours, a doubleheader come on. I'm using 6 hours out of my day just to sit here and watch basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then when it finally came back, I was like, I got other things to do now. I found other things to do. And 6 hours of my time, I can't watch the, Sixers play the Celtics. You know what I mean? I can't watch that right now. So I do feel like it is coming back a little bit for me. Like I've been watching like a ton of basketball and stuff like that. I mean, I was watching baseball spring training, which I never watch on TV, and I was watching it, and I was just like enamored at the energy from like watching the Cardinals game and stuff. I was watching Cardinals and Angels, and I was just like, "Ooh, look how hyped they are!" And I was like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, But it's one of those things where like we all kind of just.
I need lots of 50 home run seasons, all right? Let's just put it that way.
Well, we'll see.
Luis Robert, Yordan Alvarez, Bo Bichette. I need a lot of 50 home run seasons.
You better hope.
You catch my drift.
So you can sell all them cards. You can.
I mean, listen. I think once it kind of picks up steam again and everyone's back into the state of normalcy, everyone's going to be excited about it again. But I think this has been the oddest time of our lives. So.
Yeah,
and we'll see how it pans out.
I expect baseball to be probably the first sport to allow full stadiums. I mean,
that already is in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, like across the board. I expect it by June. Everybody. I expect soccer, baseball, and NASCAR to be the first ones to allow full stadiums. UFC.
If you're talking about European soccer, I think in France they already did, but I think some of the other countries are like more strict than we are.
And some of the. Oh, like UFC, they're going to fight in, Texas or Florida? They're doing full stadiums, everything. So stuff is happening, man, So hopefully I feel like we've all kind of grown a little bit to where it's like I've gotten so used to reading about sports. Like I'm not going to watch it. I just read, see the stats, see what happened. I'm good with it. Like I felt like I watched it, whatever. So I don't have anything else to ask, Pierre. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I'm glad we were able to make it work this time. I know we had a few little technical hiccups, but it is what it is, man. And I know you guys have had, technical. Every show has technical issues every once in a while, So
when you're relying on an internet connection, what are you going to do?
Oh yeah, and I mean, you guys, the much content you guys put out, y'all internet connection must be at the limit.
Mine is usually really reliable, but I'm not usually up this late. Maybe there's some sort of reset that occurs. My bedtime's 2 hours. My bedtime's 2 hours ago, fellas.
Oh man, what time is it there right now?
It's 11:30.
Oh jeez. Oh yeah, we gotta let you go, man. I think it might be some type of internet reset because sometimes I'm up really late at night and I can't connect stuff to the TV like I do. I notice like things just ain't connected on the TV at a certain hour, and I'm like, okay. Either the TV is a piece of junk or I'm up too late. So
yeah, well, I hope you guys accept my apology in the interruptions. But I certainly had a great time on here. I loved talking to you guys, and again, a huge supporter of your show, and I love what you guys are doing here too.
Same,
we appreciate it, man. And don't worry about the interruptions. That's the least of our worries.
Yeah, we don't care.
I don't think Greg's gonna do much editing and just gonna let it play all the way through this time. I mean, now if we lost video or something, that'd be a different story. But
we lost video, I would lose my mind in here. But I appreciate you, Pierre, man, and I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, talk to you later, fellas.
All right, thank you.
All right, I know you're going to do a little recap, but which one you want to open?
I'm not doing no recap. I'm ready to go home. Open one.
Which one do you want?
I don't care.
You pick.
Man, give me this. Fam, this entire box came with 20 cards. What?
Well, so are you talking about just the amount of air that's inside the box? I don't know why that's their thing now.
Who makes that, Lay's?
Lay's. Lay's leaves more room than Panini does.
I'm sitting here like, it about to be 15 packs in here.
Now, you might have some actual fire. Well, you could have had fire in the first one, but the one you got right now is actually like really expensive stuff. So
look at that, gang.
So we'll see. You got a green in that one?
I got Darren Fells, Curtis Martin. What is this? What is this, a retro pack or something?
No, they just do vets.
Curtis Martin. I got Nick Chubb.
I don't think I have any color in my pack. So you got a green. That's big.
Dalvin Tomlinson. McCoy Hardman. Yeah, he kind of had a drop touchdown. Bryce Love. Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
What am I supposed to do with this Joe Montana?
I got a kicker card.
I mean, I guess, is this Joe Montana good?
In fact, they have kicker cards. It might be, I don't know. Signed by the Cowboys on 3/20/20. So apparently they didn't put him in his Cowboy uniform or Cowboy card.
I got Traquan Smith. I got Aaron Rodgers.
Matter of fact, look, they did make it a Dallas.
Oh, yeah,
Cowboys
he is on there. Greg Zerline, he is on there.
All right.
I got Aaron Rodgers. This green card is a Damian Williams.
Damian Williams is a
rookie running back.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I got J.K. Dobbins. What's a emergent card? Whatever that is. And I got Antonio Winfield Jr., and he's running at the combine. They felt he need no uniform.
Who's the emergent?
J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, okay. So that green. Oh, I got Dobbins too. That's pretty funny.
Ooh, wait, is he doing the same thing on my card? Or do they make different ones? Nope, my card is doing something different. And
I don't
it got
know.
the home jersey.
Well, yeah, the emergent card's different. I don't know if Panini Prism does photo variation. They may, but
Fam, I know nothing you're talking about. What is this? Okay, what's this black pack? What's this?
so this is just the bonus pack they put in there, but I think they're red, white, and blues, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so these, if you get a good card, would be worth a decent amount.
Well, none of these are good, so I mean, this got this rookie quarterback on here for Seattle, but I mean,
Rookie quarter or corner?
quarter.
Who is it?
He's a rookie, right? Out of Washington State, Anthony Gordon. He's a rookie last year, right?
So if you get a quarterback in one of these, it's actually, even though it's him, it's probably worth a decent amount. I got
C.J. Mosley. And
my
Akeem
rookie red, white, and blue is Derek Brown. So that's not one that someone's going to want. But that rookie quarterback card actually probably will sell.
Well, you do your thing.
What, you don't want these?
No, what am I supposed to do with them?
I don't know. Put them on eBay?
Man, how about you put them on eBay and you give me half the proceeds? Here,
Sounds
you do
good.
these too.
Sounds good, family.
And you do all those too.
Well, let me have that box.
And you can have this box too. There's 16 DS cards in there.
All right, 16 DS.
Shout out to Bluff Bagwell.
Yes, Bluff Bagwell. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. I did not.
That was
expect
nice.
That.
I expected
look at
like
these
a
ones
bag
that
of
you
chips. Oh, the homie.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be snacks. It says Louisiana on there, so I thought
The homie
maybe
is
it
sending
was,
us some Australian snacks.
That's a pretty good card, actually.
I mean,
right
I
on
figured, but
Australian snacks. This ain't a rookie. Damian Williams. I said, is it a rookie? You said yes.
no, I didn't.
Green Prism. You did. When you go back
You
to the show-
said the rookie.
No, I said, is it a rookie? And you said yes. So when you go back and watch
Well,
the show,
he's a rookie. I didn't know like the card was a rookie.
No, Damian Williams is not a rookie.
On the Chiefs?
You thinking
Oh, I'm thinking of Bel Air.
Edwards Hilarious?
I'm thinking of Bel Air, Prince of Bel Air.
Remember, I told you. So on the Topps card, it's different. The little RC logo up there, it's like red, white, and blue. That means rookie. So if you don't have that, it ain't a rookie.
Antonio Winfield did all right this season, though. Junior.
Yeah, but the
He
funny
did okay.
The funny part about
They get an interception in the Super Bowl as well.
the funny part about football is people don't care about defensive players unless it's like Chase Young, like you go like number 1 or number 2.
That's whack. Defensive player cards should probably be the ones.
People only care really about quarterbacks, some running backs, and some wide receivers. So like Justin Jefferson cards are all right.
Football cards sound like trash.
Not Dez. What's your receiver's name? He's
He's
on the Cowboys.
Cooper.
People love him.
CD Lamb.
Yeah. So people love Lamb because he's on the Cowboys.
Any more to open? I want to open some more, fam.
Look at you. Though.
How many in that box?
Just one pack.
Oh, open it. I just like it, but I don't care at the moment.
Let me have that box. I'm going to throw everything in there.
It's a high. You'd be like, that's it. Let's go home. Hurry up!
Relax, you.
Open them!
Fam, chill out.
I bet you this one got a Tua Ala Lupu and
No, it
a
doesn't.
Justin
I'm
Herbert.
going to spoil the back card for you.
Dang, CD Lamb. That's a whack name.
It is a whack name.
I mean, that joint is spelled C-D.
It is definitely a whack name. Now this right here, the Silver Hollow Justin Herbert out of this pack.
Ooh, Deshaun Watson on top.
So the Silver Hollow, if you got a Justin Herbert of the silver card of this, $400 raw, which means like you don't got to send it in and get it graded. It's just $400.
And where do you sell that at?
That's crazy on eBay.
And somebody's gonna pay that on eBay.
Yes.
I have a hard time believing that. I need proof.
Go on eBay sales and look at all the things that have sold.
Yo, tell me who's in the pack.
Deshaun Watson, Ryan Kerrigan, Jared Goff, Tre'Davious White, Taysom Hill, Jason Kelsey, another Aaron Rodgers, way off center, but another Aaron Rodgers.
What does way off center mean?
So this is the conversation we had that one day that you didn't understand. Look at the left border, look at the right border. You see how one is very thin and one is fat?
I mean, maybe it's supposed to be like that.
No, it's not. Derrick Henry, Max Crosby, another quarterback. This is a 3 quarterback pack.
Ooh, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Your negative or whatever you want to call it, rookie is Devin Duvernay. So not the greatest reverse negative or whatever they call it.
I don't want no Falcon cards.
Variation, whatever they call it. Your hollow is also not a great card. Keenan Allen.
Oh.
You want a rookie in this card. So hollow is like the silver.
Why is it got to be a rookie? He's good.
Because that's what people want.
Man, this is dumb. There's too many rules of cards. Why they gotta be rookies?
So
them Aaron Rodgers worth nothing.
No. In Prism. So Prism is the first thing we open in those cello packs, the ones with the red, white, and blue. So this is the card that this set or version is what people pay more for than anything in football and basketball. And this is probably the second most expensive set, Optic. So like this hanger right here. So in the store, this is $15. Right now, these are probably selling for $60.
A pack?
This hanger in store at Target or Walmart is probably $15, I think, retail. This is probably
resale
probably
60.
reselling.
I thought you meant in Target 60.
No, this is probably reselling for $60 or $70. This one right here might be even more because it's basketball. Same thing, $15. These cellos, this is $10 because it's Prism. It might be more expensive than both of these. I don't really know what they're all going for resale, but.
What else you got?
So Clyde Edwards-Hilarious. I don't know if I showed you that one right there. Got a decent rookie in the rookies. This is a pretty good card right here. Pretty good card.
We'll see.
Jalen Hurts. Well, no, it's a good card. I didn't say it was a good player. There's a difference between good card and good player. Jordan Love is a hot card right now. We know nothing about Jordan Love.
Why is that a hot card?
People love Jordan Love.
Man.
Oh, we got another rated rookie in here. Jerry Jeudy. That's not bad.
We'll see.
Jerry Jeudy, Sam, good card, not good player. Let's see if we got another rated rookie here. No, we did not. Kenneth Murray, Raekwon Davis, and CeeDee Lamb are the blue scopes.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. Now that's probably a pretty good card right there because it's a blue scope variation.
Oh, it's a little off-centered.
If you're selling it raw, it doesn't matter.
I should keep this. I should keep all Cowboy cards. There you go. Sell it. Make us $2. Give me $1. Give you $1.
I think it'll be more than $2.
And we can go buy a patch of Sour Patch Kids.
All right.
I would give up a pack of cards to a Sour Patch Kids.
Probably more than $2, but sure, I'll sell it and send you your profits.
All right, man. Let's go home, man.
Shout out Bluff Bagwell. We appreciate it. I definitely did not expect you to be sending us cards. I love ripping cards, obviously, and there's some pretty good cards in here.
I love ripping cards too, but I hate cards too.
No, you don't.
That's it.
Why am I still wearing these headphones? We're not online.
All right, let's go home. It's late.
All right, family.
That's the Stink Disc. Bye-bye.